What's up, guys? How you doing? Good morning. Good morning. Hope you guys are doing all right. We have some breaking news. Breaking news. Let me see. You guys can hear me? Okay, perfect. You guys can hear me. Who's up early today? Trump is saying that he believes with a high degree of certainty the suspect's in custody.
Yesterday.
Give me a second to set up here. Good morning, guys. The story has been weighing heavy on me a bit, and a lot of people. All right, I guess let's get started. Oh, let me send out one more notification. Try to get everybody in here. Folks, what's up? Oh yeah, we might get a press conference. Sure, I guess. Okay. So let's start out with the big thing this morning. Might as well jump right to it, and then we'll get to everything else, and we'll keep checking for updates. And we'll talk about the Secret Service, too, because there was some Secret Service drama. I don't know if you guys had heard about that. Shut up. The person to click big shit me kick your ass out of here. Get out of here. You're gone. Donald Trump has told Fox News that he has a high degree of certainty that the person suspected of shooting dead right-wing influencer Charlie Kirk is in custody.
Just an update to bring you on that story. President Trump has been on Fox News and he has said on that television channel that he thinks with a high degree of certainty that they do have the person of interest, the suspect, in custody. So very much a developing situation, but we will bring you more on that as soon as we know, as soon as we can. We also understand, so this is coming to us in real time.
Big deal, big news.
For bringing it to you in drips and drabs, that the president has also said that it was somebody close to him that turned him in, presumably.
Oh, you hear that? So we're getting some big news. This is huge. That's what I was saying. Somebody has to know this guy. Somebody's going to recognize him, some family, some friends. This dude might have been missing for a couple of days, To the FBI. Incidentally, the head of the FBI is going to be delivering a press conference at 2 o'clock UK time, and we will be bringing you that live. But 2 o'clock UK time. So I'll put that over again. Barney, Grandpa Barney, what's up? Good morning. Good morning, my family. God bless you all and Charlie's family. God bless you. You're a refuge for the channel? Oh, man. So I'm happy about this. And play it again.
Just an update to bring you on that story. President Trump has been on Fox News and he has said on that television channel that he thinks with a high degree of certainty that they do have the person of interest, the suspect, in custody. So very much a developing situation, but we will bring you more on that as soon as we know, as soon as we can. We also...
Yeah. So Fox News is posting here too. So I'm just going to change the title to "He's Caught," I guess. President Trump confirmed to Fox News Friday morning that the person suspected of assassinating conservative influencer Charlie Kirk has been apprehended. Apprehended. That is, wow. Let me see if they're talking about it on Live Now, Fox.
Leaving for New York, where he still is. Again, these are the few in full and continue to update you here on Live Now from Fox. But state and federal officials in Utah just announcing a 9 a.m. Eastern Time news conference.
Oh, 9 a.m. We got a press conference, guys.
Utah Governor Spencer Cox, who you just heard from, Public Safety Commissioner Bo Mason, FBI Director Kash Patel, and FBI Special Agent in Charge Robert Bowles. They are all expected to be there to announce that this suspect is in custody. Now, if you're just joining us, President Trump said just a short time ago here while speaking with Fox News that the suspect in the Charlie Kirk assassination has been captured. What he announced during a live interview there is, quote, with a high degree of certainty, we have him. Trump said a minister who's also involved with law enforcement turned in that suspect to authorities, saying, quote, somebody that was close to him said, that's him. Again, that is a direct quote coming in from President Trump. What you're looking at on your screen right now is a look at some of the video that was released last night by the FBI as they were hoping that someone out there would recognize who they say is the gunman climbing up onto the roof of that building at Utah Valley University and then taking off running a short time later. We do know from investigators that the gun was found nearby in a wooded area. Now, that gun, of course, part of the evidence as investigators believe it was the murder weapon. Again, there are so many questions here, so we are working to gather more ahead of that news conference set for just about 38 minutes from now. We're going to make sure to bring that to you here on Live Now from Fox as soon as we get it. And a friend of the show here, Scott Duffy, he is with former FBI. He's going to be joining us here in a short time to kind of break down what we know, what's left to figure out, all of that. So we'll dissect that for you here in a
All right, so good morning, guys. Some good news. Okay, some good news. If you can help me out with the like button, please, just share this out. Let people know, because I know it's, for some it's early. So some people are in different time zones. Suspect is caught. They're going to have a press conference this morning, 9 a.m. Eastern. And I'm going to try, let me get the news ticker up, because people are going to be coming in. Yeah, here we go.
Tell Fox Charlie Kirk's assassin was taken into custody there somewhere over in southern Utah. It's not clear if that is over in Orem, where Utah Valley University is located. However, they do say we are on the ground and on the way. We know Fox News does have several crews out there gathering all of the latest details. We are going to make sure to keep you updated as we await this 9 a.m. Eastern Time news conference that should be getting underway in just about 37 minutes. And as I mentioned here, Scott Duffy, our friend over at the former FBI agent, he's going to be joining us in a matter of moments, and we're going to discuss the case.
So in case you guys haven't heard too, while we wait for the press conference, there was some other interesting stuff. Where do I have it? There was a Secret Service agent that was set to the side, was kind of put on administrative leave. The Secret Service says an agent who posted gleefully about Kirk's death has been put on administrative leave. To me, if there's somebody in Secret Service like that, they need to be removed. Why would I want the people protecting me to hate me and be against me? You know, you need to be removed and gone. That means you have people within your own service that despise you. So that happened. There was also something else. So a man was arrested for allegedly sneaking onto a crime scene and taking photos of videos of evidence. So he was arrested at the scene. He was taking photos and took a selfie. Person's name is Russell Kim Kennington, 38 years old. He was charged with suspicion of capital obstruction of justice, second-degree felony, and criminal trespass. Police said that he walked past the crime scene tape wearing a white lab coat, so he was trying to blend in, and began taking pictures and videos of evidence. At one point, a selfie. Kennington allegedly said he was reminiscing and filming the scene. Wow.
The big topic, though, as we mentioned, is related to the assassination of Charlie Kirk. President also saying, quote, In Utah, they have the death penalty. The governor is very intent on the death penalty in this case, and he should be. In North Carolina, you also have it, but we have to make sure that happens. That was a horrific crime. So again, he's talking about not just the situation over there that happened in Utah, but he's also talking about that murder that took place on the subway, and this is over there in Charlotte. Right now, there's actually a flyover that's taking place over the White House and over the Capitol. I want to pop that up on your screen as we continue to follow all of the latest here related to Charlie Kirk's assassination. Just saw that live image pop up on your screen there from a distance, so definitely wanted to make sure to bring that to you here on Live Now from Fox as we did get it in. Again, we are awaiting Scott Duffy. He is a friend of the show, former FBI. He's going to join us and discuss some of the latest details as we stay on air. We're throwing out the commercial breaks and staying with you here as we wait for that news conference to begin at 9 a.m. Eastern time right here on Live Now from Fox. President Trump also saying that he spoke to Charlie Kirk's wife yesterday and saying that she's devastated, but in between the devastation, they want to keep Turning Point USA going. That was, of course, founded there by Charlie Kirk. He is the founder, CEO. We carried a lot of his events here as.
So some more information. Thank you for tagging me, Eric. President Trump says it was a minister who recognized the shooter and went to law enforcement. After that, the shooter's family was involved with getting him in custody. Then it was a father got involved, namely his father. So supposedly, reportedly, a minister recognized the shooter, went to law enforcement. They got the family involved, and the father, shooter's father, I guess, got him to turn himself in. We'll see if we can confirm it, but that's what's being said. I'm happy this guy's been caught. Yeah,
Up on
President
your
Trump.
screen once again is Matt Finn at Fox News saying sources tell Fox that the Charlie Kirk assassin was taken into custody in southern Utah. We are on the ground and on the way. I mentioned here that Scott Duffy is a friend of the show. He joins us quite a bit to discuss situations like this. And Scott, if you can hear me, give me a thumbs up. All right, we're going to bring you in right now. Thank you so much for being with us here on short notice, Scott, as we cover this breaking story.
Yeah, good morning, Josh. Yes, what truly breaking story.
Yeah, and I did want to ask here, one thing that President Trump has said overall is essentially that at this point, it's someone close to him that turned him in. So a question that I did want to ask you, just based on your law enforcement background and your expertise there, is this something that happens a lot? Someone close to them does turn them in?
I can't say it happens a lot, but I will say in my quite a few years of just hunting local fugitives for local crimes, never made it to the news. Often we were successful because of our ability to interview close family or friends, and ultimately they pointed us in the right direction.
And I also want to ask here about the investigation, because we know there were several clues, so to speak, that were left behind, evidence there. We've heard about some of what was collected on the actual rooftop itself, and there was shoe impressions, a forearm imprint, and a palm print. How pivotal is that in an investigation like this, where time has passed and it appears that person is not still there on the college campus?
Yeah, it's vital to an investigation. It's one thing for somebody to call, as President Trump revealed this morning with regards to a possible suspect in custody. It's one thing for somebody to say, I believe somebody who I know did it, and so thereby turn them in. Either law enforcement comes forcibly or that person is brought to a police department. It's another thing to tie the evidence together to ensure that it's not a false confession and not somebody just looking for the limelight, but truly is responsible for the shooting. And all those pieces of evidence, and I imagine there's quite a few pieces of evidence that have been recovered and just not being told to the public yet, that are all going to tie this individual to being that of the shooter.
One thing that's interesting is a lot of times in situations like this, you do see a flow of information that happens steadily. The information comes out. I want to get your take on what we've seen so far in these news conferences. Yesterday, we heard from the governor last night. Kash Patel, the head of the FBI, was there as well. Also, Utah Division of Public Safety. So what do you think about the flow of information? But also on that same note, how does it change things when you have a suspect who is alive? Obviously, if they're not alive, you can maybe release a little bit more information, but there is still a case to build against this person.
Yeah, so now the hard part begins with regards to the prosecution. And this is where your prosecuting attorney.
I'm glad that this person is still alive. Part of me was wondering and like worried, like, are they going to take themselves out? We're going to find him in the woods somewhere deceased. He was in Utah the whole time. And I guess he went back home. He murdered Charlie Kirk and went back home, chilled with his parents. I wonder what. I don't know. Hopefully we get to find out all the details and they don't scrub. You know. I wonder if the cartridge thing was true, the trans writing stuff on the cartridges.
I thought last night's press conference was very telling. First and foremost, you had the governor pretty much running it as opposed to law enforcement. You had the silence of the FBI director. That just told me that everyone was on the same page. And now it was, let's stop any confusing messaging and let's ensure that what we have is delivered to the public. And it's the public that ultimately brought this to hopefully a close by getting this person off the street.
I wanted to get your take on what we heard from investigators here about them finding this high-powered rifle that was there in a wooded area, they say, right near the university. How do investigators go about confirming if that is actually the murder weapon, the weapon that was used to assassinate Charlie Kirk?
Yeah, so there are experts out there, right? So it's going to be delivered to a laboratory, a crime laboratory, whether it be the FBI or Utah DPS. And so they're going to be able to take that weapon, match what they have recovered with regards to the bullet that struck Charlie, and be able to do their ballistics, as well as going through DNA, fingerprint analysis and whatnot, anything from the gun, and ultimately tie it back to the shooter.
What do you think, as far as just, again, based on what you've seen with your expertise and your law enforcement background, how much information is it likely that investigators will release about all of this and how they track down the suspect? President Trump saying that he is in custody. They did release a few details, but again, we are waiting on a little bit more about this. But do they tend to release a lot of information at first when they do make an arrest, or do they have to kind of hold it close to the vest, so to speak?
It all depends where this goes at the end of the day. So, Josh, you're talking about, is this going to be a federal prosecution? Is it going to be a state prosecution? If it's a state prosecution, what is Utah law with regards to what law enforcement is allowed to give out, right? So it ultimately comes out down to who's the prosecuting lead agency, as well as the prosecutorial agency. So that will be decided upon. It's possible that this will stay in the state and the feds will follow it. It's possible there will be some sort of joint prosecution, one way or the other, where a state prosecutor can be elevated to an assistant U.S. attorney, as I have seen that in Delaware. So at the end of the day, both the federal and the state authorities will come together, decide where is the best bang for the buck, how and what can be done to ensure not only is this person prosecuted to the full extent of the law, but it must be a deterrence to others, because we are seeing a rise in political violence. And so where we are coming to terms.
There are going to be more violence, more people, assassinations, more targets.
Much speech and talk about what they want in public forums. We also have to figure out how to better protect and secure and deter those who are thinking of this.
What I'm showing right now is some of the video that surfaced afterward from folks who were there on campus. One of them is from a reporter who was there just kind of covering all of this. And you heard the gunshots in one of the videos. And obviously that was a shock. His son is there. He starts running. One thing I did want to ask you, obviously at this point, just about everyone has a cell phone on them. They pull it out whenever anything happens. How pivotal is that video like this, where you can't necessarily see who the gunman is, but you can get a better view of the scene? How does that help investigators to kind of work and piece all of this together?
It's pivotal. It's amazing in today's day and age in 2025, with everyone having video, regardless of the campus having their security, their cameras. Perhaps there's drone footage we just haven't yet seen. But each and every one of those individuals that were taping something, it's important that it gets into law enforcement's hand. And this is why the FBI is a phenomenal resource, if anything, with regards to their ability to take each and every one of those video footage, have it uploaded, analyzed with everything that we have at our disposal to be able to document, as we have already seen with just a little bit of video that was given to the media, with regards to ring cameras and video footage from different sources, to be able to track steps, to be able to see things as a Monday morning quarterback, as opposed to, hey, somebody's watching it real time, is alerted to something, and so thereby maybe security could have acted. But now we are in a prosecutorial stage, and so each and every one of those pieces of footage are going to be vital to a prosecution, to being able to deliver it to a jury. And gosh, it's going to be amazing to see when that's all put together, to say there's no doubt in our mind that the person we have in custody and has been charged is responsible for the shooting of Charlie Kirk.
I've asked you a lot of questions based on your legal experience. Of course, that's why we have you here, to help kind of break it down, law enforcement experience. I mean, when we talk about a reward of...
The press conference should be in about 20 minutes, guys. They said 9 a.m. Eastern. So it's 8:38 over here right now. And a lot of people are reporting that a minister, some church minister, recognized the suspect, got in touch with the suspect's family, and the father coordinated to get the suspect locked up, or in custody, I should say. Yeah.
This huge cash reward that we're offering. What does that indicate to you?
Yeah, it's
supposedly there's a list. Somebody tagged me on X saying that there's a list of influencer conservatives that they want to take out. I don't know if it's like an actual list, but I did see a list.
A pot of gold to be able to give out to spur these type of tips. So this is again where federal resources are leveraged. We're able to get additional monies where somebody is pondering thinkings like, hey, I know that person, but I haven't quite thought about it. Perhaps their moral compass is not there, but money can also help push people over that edge, and it's another resource to solve a crime.
How exactly do law enforcement agents go about kind of combating misinformation? That's something that we actually heard from the governor about last night. He was saying, pay attention to the official channels and the official information that is coming through. Don't just essentially go and believe anything you see on social media. So how do law enforcement specifically go about combating incorrect information, misinformation, and disinformation that's coming out?
To the line detectives, they're not too worried about misinformation, right? Tips are coming in, and they could be bad tips. They could be tips that people are very legitimately thinking, hey, I know this person, and this person is in this corner of the world. Law enforcement can be able to quickly look at that and say, okay, thank you for the tip, but that is not something that's reasonably possible. And so they'll put that on the back burner. With regards to messaging from law enforcement is essential, that it is proper, it is appropriate, and that it is true, right? In order to keep the trust of the public in hearing from their government, from law.
Ryan in the chat says that the list was made by a rando on Blue Sky. Okay. It's not a hit list from a competent killer major figure. Okay. Yeah, I was wondering that. Somebody had tagged me, but I wasn't sure. It just looked like, it was like a list, but I wasn't sure if it was like an actual, hit list. So, major news, man. I wasn't expecting this morning. I actually had a bunch of stuff ready to go that I've been like bookmarking that I was going to share with you guys. I sat here and I started, I'm getting ready for a stream. And that's when I was hit up. Somebody had hit me up and told me about the suspect in custody. It first started out that Trump said he was certain they were in custody, but now they're saying everywhere they're saying he is in custody. Oh, here's Trump on. Here's the video. Let me play this for you guys. And so now they're gonna have a press conference.
Suspicion was that he was radical left, and now you have more information. What can you share with us about his ideology?
Yeah, Lawrence, let me just, and by the way, Lawrence is doing a good job. What's going on?
Job, yeah.
I'll tell you what, I'm very proud of you.
Thank you, sir.
I said you were going to do well. Yeah, I think that I don't want to go too far. I'd like to tell you some stories at how it happened, but essentially somebody that was very close to him turned him in. And that happens when you had some of those good shots. Somebody is going to say, whether it's a parent or whatever, I'd rather not say right now. They're going to announce it today, sometime later, probably talk about that. But somebody close to him turned him in. They said, whoa. It's interesting where we had very good pictures, but not great, not perfect. And when you look at it, what happened is somebody, and this happens a lot. It happened with the crazy Boston bomber. It happened with others. Somebody that's close recognizes even a little tilt of the head, which nobody else would do. And somebody that was very close to him said, that's him. And essentially went to the father, went to a U.S. Marshal, who was fantastic, by the way. And the person was involved with law enforcement, but was a person of faith, a minister. And brought him to a U.S. Marshal, who was fantastic. And the father convinced the son, this is it. And again, I'm always subject to be corrected, but I'm just giving you, based on what I'm hearing, they'll give you a much more active. I just heard about it 5 minutes before I walked in. As I'm walking in, they said, looking real good. They have the person that they wanted. So you have breaking news, don't you? Huh?
Thank you.
You always have breaking news, Ainsley. Sean's going to be very disappointed that we're not doing it on his show.
He'll be very thankful and appreciative of the police officers that got this guy.
They did a great job. Everybody worked together. Pam Bondi is incredible, by the way. People don't know what a star she is. She's incredible. And it all worked out.
Could I ask you just some clarification? So a pastor was able to turn him in, or they got the family of the shooter to turn them in?
Well, it was a minister, and the minister went to a minister who was involved with law enforcement, by the way. And his good friend is a top U.S. Marshal. And they took it from there. And then it was a father got involved, namely his father, and said, we got to go in. And they, so I understand it. And again, subject to change. But, the facts are the facts. We have the person that we think is the person we're looking for. But they drove into the police headquarters, and he's there now.
Wow. So they're saying, too, according to Sky News, official confirms Trump remarks, but says suspect's name not being released yet. Suspect's name not being released yet. A law enforcement official cited by the New York Times has now confirmed details of Donald Trump's comment to Fox News, saying a man was taken into custody at 11 p.m. local time, UK time, by the Utah State and local police. The unnamed official said authorities were not releasing the suspect's identity because they were still in the process of pursuing leads and executing search warrants. Somebody in the chat just said, too, that the press conference was delayed for 30 more minutes. I'll have to check. I'll double check and see that. We can confirm that. The suspect in the killing of Charlie Kirk's death is 28 or 29, supposedly.
And I'm not seeing a podium or anything of that nature just yet.
I
Once we
wonder,
get that
Mandy,
shot,
I don't
we're gonna
know.
pull it up on your screen so you can see it. One thing I did want to ask you, Scott, is you have obviously the perspective from one agency that's involved in this, but how exactly would you say that local, state, and federal law enforcement work together on something this major, something like this? Does the federal agency kind of take over once they arrive on scene? How does all of that work?
I wouldn't say they take over. I know the FBI, especially when the director put out, hey, we're sending all available resources. I feel comfortable in saying that throughout the whole country, there are very good, if not formal task forces, there are informal task forces that come up all of a sudden, and they are a federal, state, and local. So even though we haven't heard from them, I would imagine that prosecutors were involved very early in this. And so thereby, behind the scenes, outside of public view, they are determining who is going to be the lead. If a person is taken into custody alive, who is going to be in front of that person doing the interview? It is now up to the interviewers to be able to extract the right information they need, while you now have investigators that are either doing search warrants on vehicles, residents, wherever have you, to be able to say, is the person that the interviewers are talking to the person that we have in order to be able to fill out an affidavit and be able to get an arrest warrant. So it's integral right now, and I would imagine it's already been set up, that if this person was taken into custody, that the interviewers were already predestined to who they might be, which may be both a federal as well as the local lead detective for the actual homicide.
What question or maybe questions do you hope are going to be answered during this news conference? Again, we're just about maybe 10 minutes away from the scheduled start time of 9 a.m. Eastern time. What question or questions do you hope could be answered, as there are some details that we do know, quite a few of them, but still so many questions?
I think ultimately the motive, if this person is talking with the interviewers, it's not going to be something that's going to be readily available by the 9 a.m. press conference. And so they want to make sure that there's a reasonable certainty that the person in custody and hopefully talking is the person responsible for the crime. Remember, we've already had day one, a couple of pieces of information that have gotten out that a person of interest or a person is in custody, and then ultimately that person is released, which sends shockwaves and lack of security to those who are listening and watching. So I would hope that this press conference at least has enough information where the law enforcement, those who are providing the press conference, can say they have reasonable surety that the person in custody is the person responsible for the shooting, and the investigation is continuing. And then, of course, the interview I can see going on for quite a bit of time, because I've always said, no matter what, the motive which we all seek, lies alone with the person who has did this. It is in their heart and mind, and they can write things and so forth. But without an interview and follow-up question, we really won't know the answers. Hopefully here, we will know the answers.
And you can see
so there's the podium. Yeah, they got the podium.
Go. We do have one of the shots you could see there did go out, but that is the podium set up. We are likely to hear from Governor Spencer Cox there, a Republican, over in Utah, as well as the Utah Department of Public Safety. Some other officials could be there, the FBI special agent in charge. It's not clear if Kash Patel will be there again, the FBI director. He spoke, or actually was there just last night, and he was seen looking on the rooftop of that building alongside others there, because, again, the rooftop is where that suspect apparently fired the single shot that did hit Charlie Kirk, killing him on Wednesday there at Utah Valley University. Scott, I appreciate you taking the time to join us here as we wait for this news conference to get underway. I wanted to ask you about the reward itself. We talked about this just a
literally, as you guys are saying it in the chat, about the pastor should be getting a reward.
$100,000 reward. How often does a reward actually result in someone coming forward with information? What sort of incentive does that provide?
Yeah, it's a great incentive, and there are many people who are in need. There are people who who perhaps are, hey, I have no skin in the game, and so thereby I see something, but I'm not really going to say something. The money is a good, at least getting them over the hump to say, oh, you know what, I'll make a call and see if it means anything. So I think the reward money is always good. I don't know what the actual stats are with regards to payouts, but I know in the crimes that I have investigated over the years, where we have, for example, in our state, Crime Stoppers, and then of course, if we had needed additional money, we would ask it through our resources through the FBI, and they have been good to us. But at the same time, law enforcement was moving quickly to do their thing, and ultimately it comes down to law enforcement may have made an arrest where an award money was not needed. And in this case, if the stories are true, where it's a family member that turned in the individual, perhaps this person is going to say, I don't want the money. That's not why I did it.
And that's something that we'll definitely wait to kind of see as we wait for this news conference to get underway. Again, we do have several different live vantage points that we are keeping an eye on. The podium is set up and ready to go. And for the most part, I would say, except for the canceled news conference that was set for yesterday afternoon, for the most part, officials have been showing up on time, so it's likely we could actually see this start within the next 10 minutes or so. We're keeping an eye on those vantage points. You can see right there, officials checking the microphones and making sure everything is in order and ready to go. I want to see... That person appears to be walking away, so I'm not sure if we are going to get them checking this. Let me lift up the audio just to see if we can hear anything.
2 minutes?
All right, so they're actually working, it looks like, to fix the audio. Now,
yeah, let me show the other, got a little box there. I think they're just trying to do audio checks. Yeah, they might actually get started on time. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if they're going to name the suspect, though. I hope they do. Or maybe it'll leak out. I don't know.
About the potential arrest identity of a suspect. She says they've been working this for hours. So it sounds as though this person could have been identified and arrested hours ago, not just when President Trump came out and said, you know, we have a suspect in custody right now. My question for you, is there a certain amount of time that you want to wait before you release that information to the public and say, this is the suspect, this is who we've taken into custody? Do you do it right away or do you wait?
Yeah, it all depends on what is there in place with regards to how was this person taken into custody, and do we have enough information where we feel comfortable, at least one piece of evidence to show that this person is responsible.
Because, they were starting from zero, in part because the surveillance footage they pulled, he was wearing sunglasses and a baseball cap. Facial recognition software did not clearly identify who it was. So in luck and getting those photos out, that decision to make to publicize the images of this individual appear to have been key to having this person turn themselves in. As you laid out before, a pastor convinced the father of this individual to turn himself in. It is pretty stunning to have the President of the United States go live on the air 5 minutes after learning of this information and publicizing it. There is a chance that this isn't the right person, but the level of detail that Trump was able to provide in his public statements, it does appear to be a very, very strong lead.
Anna Schechter giving us her insight on the phone this morning on the news from President Trump that a suspect in the death of Charlie Kirk is now in custody. You're looking at a podium where we expect a press update from the FBI to begin possibly within the next 5 minutes, but this is a fluid moment this morning, and that could start earlier or later. CBS News correspondent Natalie Brand is following all of this from the White House, and it's clear, Natalie, that in this horrific incident, President Trump has actually led with some of the most significant developments in announcing on social media that Charlie Kirk had died, and today announcing on one of his favorite news networks that's favorable to him that a suspect is in custody. Talk to us about that and anything new you're learning at this moment.
Yeah, and that's really because of the closeness of the relationship between Kirk and the president and his team here. We know this was a top priority of the administration to try to catch the suspect in this case. And the president also mentioning that he had just found out before this interview this morning on Fox and Friends, but he did give an intense amount of detail, as you and Anna and Andres have been discussing, about how this unfolded, that it was someone who, saw the law enforcement's outcry for help in this case, for identifying the suspect, and someone close to the suspect who turned him in, according to the president. Of course, we're all waiting to hear these details from law enforcement officials themselves.
That's interesting. I don't know. So they're posting a name. Where are they getting this from? Oh, according to the New York Post. Let me confirm this then. So they're saying supposedly somebody named Tyler Robinson is in custody per the New York Post. Let me see if I can find that. I'll keep the audio going.
Additional images of the suspect, additional video of the suspect, and gave more details about where he may have gone after the shooting incident, again, in an attempt to get the public involved. And as you've been reporting, thousands of tips poured in, interviews with around 200 individuals led to the suspect potentially being in custody, as the president has detailed. Now, back to the relationship between Kirk and the president, vice president, and his team. I mean, given the fact that Kirk really helped mobilize.
And multiple people on Twitter saying some guy named Tyler Robinson. Okay, here's the link. Is this the link? Yeah, New York Post is saying Tyler Robinson. The Post was turned in by his father. Law enforcement sources telling the Post it is a 22-year-old local, Tyler Robinson. Okay, let me see, because I saw some people posting pictures while we wait for the press conference. I see people posting pictures on X. Yeah, this New York Post. Okay.
New Jersey. So we are not sure whether we will hear from the president again, whether he will gaggle with the pool that is traveling with him. That's possible as they, travel with him to his weekend location. But again, I think what we will hear from first is federal law enforcement trying to give us some of the details about this case, the latest developments that the president reported first.
Natalie Brand is reporting the latest for us from the White House after President Trump announced that a suspect is in custody in the assassination of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. If you are...
Okay, we're just waiting for them to get started. Tyler Robinson. Let me show you the picture that they're showing on X. I'm not sure where they got this picture. He looks a little different to me than... That's the picture that's floating around, but the New York Post doesn't have a picture attached to it. It just shows the name. This is their claim. They're saying a 22-year-old in custody, turned in by his father, with sources IDing him as a 22-year-old Utah man.
Check 1 2 3 1 2 3 4
Audio
5
check.
6 7 8 9 10. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Mic check. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
200 yards.
Good with that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Everybody good? Keep going? Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
They're about to get started.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
oh, shit.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Check 1, check 2, check 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And it's for you guys coming in, 7:30 is the earliest start time for this now, so you guys are all aware. You good? Everybody? We'll do another check in about 15. Keep going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Check, check. 1, 2, check, check, check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
So they are saying, according to Sky News, suspect in his early 20s. The suspect being held by authorities is in his early 20s. Earlier, Trump said it was 28 or 29, but they're reporting it's some younger guy, earlier 20s.
Then, after Charlie Kirk was assassinated, they say the person jumps off and runs away. Investigators do say the shooter left behind the gun and ammo in a wooded area that was near the university. Evidence collected from the rooftop, including shoe impressions, a forearm imprint, and a palm print. Governor Spencer Cox had a strong message for the public last night. He was urging them to help in any way they could to identify that person. We also know that a reward of up to $100,000 was offered by the FBI for the arrest and conviction of Kirk's killer. That was announced about 24 hours after the killing itself happened. And now TMZ obtained some video as well showing that person of interest, they say, both before and after that shooting. So Kirk, if you are not familiar with this, was speaking Wednesday at an event there at Utah Valley University when a single gunshot was fired from a nearby rooftop. He was struck there. The conservative activist who founded Turning Point was rushed over to a hospital, and just hours later, President Trump made the announcement on Truth Social that...
So this guy, Stephen King, to me, this guy's a nut job. I didn't know this guy was cracky, crazy, kooky until like I've seen his post on X. But he did make a post saying that about Charlie Kirk, saying that he advocated for stoning gays to death, which is just not true. I've seen a lot of like lies about this guy, which is just crazy. And so I guess he made a reply 15 minutes ago. I was wrong and I apologize. I'm surprised, this nut. But that's good that he's doing that. But why? Like somebody that's deceased, shot and murdered like that, you have to go. This is what drives people crazy. Like the people are already on edge, and the media constantly Nazi, blah, blah. And so these people, we're going to take matters into our own hands and kill or whatever. I was wrong and I apologize. I've deleted the post. After how long he deleted this shit? It's been up, I thought it was 2 days or some shit. It's crazy.
I mentioned died from his injuries. As of right now, President Trump did speak with Fox News and provided a little bit more information about this. He did say that it appeared that a suspect was in custody, essentially saying, we got him. I'm going to go over some of the other comments that Trump mentioned while he was speaking with Fox News about all of this. Now, he did say, quote, with a high degree of certainty, the suspect in the Charlie Kirk killing has been caught. Federal investigators, state officials there released photos and a video of the person that they believe to be responsible. Kirk was shot, as I mentioned, as he spoke to a crowd gathered in a courtyard there at Utah Valley University, that is over in Orem, Utah. We also know from the FBI that more than 7,000 leads and tips had poured in, and authorities have yet to publicly name the suspect or cite a motive in the killing, but it is, of course, the latest act of political violence in the U.S. Right now, we're taking a live look at the podium. As any moment now, we do expect that we are going to hear from officials there, the FBI and other folks who essentially are just going to provide some information. We're not quite clear how much information
that's what I'm wondering, yeah.
We are going to get, but we're going to keep this up and, of course, let you know as we do get it.
Yeah, and I wonder if they'll take questions. Yesterday, they didn't take any questions.
And if you are just joining us here on Live Now from Fox, it is now 9:06 on the East Coast and 6:06 on the West Coast. My name is Josh Breslow, and I've been with you for the past several hours to bring you all of your top stories. And
So some more information. Somebody here posted. So we know this. Trump told Fox News that a minister had identified a person as Kirk's suspected shooter from the photos made public by law enforcement. According to Trump, the minister got in touch with a deputy U.S. Marshal whom he knew, and eventually the suspect's father got involved. They drove to the police headquarters, and he's there now. Sources tell CNN the suspect confessed to his father that he was the shooter. His father told authorities and said he had secured his son until they could arrive to pick him up. Dang.
Suspect is in custody. Again, the news came just about an hour ago from President Donald Trump as he posted it on Truth Social and his other social media platforms. Want to pop this up on your screen? This is the announcement here as Fox News did post breaking. Trump confirms Charlie Kirk suspect was turned in by, quote, somebody that was very close to him. There were some rumblings there that it may have been a pastor or someone associated with a church that maybe this person attended. But as of right now, President Trump says it was, quote, somebody that was very close to him, referring, of course, to the suspected killer. And we're looking through a lot of the other posts that are coming in from different officials here. We're going to keep an eye on this screen, but also want to make sure that we are showing you this live look right here. This is of the podium. I do want to keep it there on your screen as any moment now we are likely to get this update.
Okay. So Daily Mail, we're just waiting. So the Daily Mail also is saying that the killer is identified as Tyler Robinson. Sources told CNN that the killer confessed. So they're saying it here as well. Sources told CNN that the killer confessed to his father, who worked at the Washington County Sheriff's Department. What? Sources told CNN that the killer confessed to his father, who worked at the Washington County Sheriff's Department. Reports say his father then contacted authorities and secured his son before he could be taken into custody. I think they just wrote that in a weird way. Sources from the Washington County Department. The New York Times reported that the suspect was taken into custody around 11 p.m. local time in southern Utah on Thursday night. The alleged shooter lived in a $600,000 six-bedroom, in Washington, Utah, around 260 miles south of where the carnage unfolded. I don't know what the homes out there cost, but it seemed like a decent home. Seemed like a nice home. 6-bedroom, living the life, but it's never enough, I guess. Little is known of Robinson at this time. The officials have not yet released the motive. They're saying he's facing the death penalty. Investigators previously revealed that ammunition found in a weapon discovered near the scene had been engraved with transgender and anti-fascist ideology.
all been vocal on social media and made their comments known. Looking right here, it does say from Jackie Heinrich, sources tell Fox the suspect was, quote, walked in near St. George, Utah last night after 11 p.m. One thing I'm doing is pulling up Google Maps, doing it kind of the old school way.
Check. 1, 2, 3.
That is away from Orem right here. It looks like that is St. George. And if you're from that area, you may have the answer as well, but it looks like it's about 260, 270 miles away from Orem, where Utah Valley University is located. That's about a 3.5-hour drive. Again, Orem is where Utah Valley University is. That is where the assassination happened. And according to Jackie Heinrich, it appears that the suspect was taken into custody there in St. George, about 260, 270 miles away from the scene of the crime. Not sure how they were able to get there. Again, a lot still unknown, and it's likely that we will get at least some of those answers as we see folks step up to the podium. Senator Rick Scott of Florida writing, I'm still in shock and devastated that Charlie Kirk is no longer with us. I can't even imagine how his wife, kids, and family feel. Charlie was a man of faith, and he believed in the power of prayer. Today, I'm asking every American to pray for his family. Let us gather together in church and in our communities. Our nation needs God, and his family needs comfort only our Heavenly Father can give. This news conference was slated to start around 9 a.m. Eastern time. That is 7 o'clock local time right now, though. We are still waiting on that to begin. It is 9:11, right after the hour here, as we do essentially just wait for the FBI or Utah Department of Public Safety to walk up to the podium here. Let's lift up the audio and listen in.
Test. Audio checks. They're
The
dropping
good
different
news there
pictures.
is that the audio issue that we heard maybe 30 minutes ago has now been fixed. That is not going to be a problem. You'll be able to hear all of this in full as it does start here in a matter of moments. We have not been given any kind of updated time or anything of that nature. Sometimes they'll let us know if they're running a little bit late, but as of right now, still slated to have started at 9 a.m. Eastern time, 7 a.m. local time there in Orem, Utah. And if you are just joining us here on Live Now from Fox, thank you so much for being with us here on this Friday, September 12th. My name is Josh Breslow, and I've been here for the past several hours as we've taken a look at all of your top stories, breaking news alerts. And over the last hour, we have been with this information as we have learned from President Trump that a suspect has been taken into custody in connection with the assassination of Charlie Kirk, which happened Wednesday as he was speaking to a very large crowd at a university.
So this guy said he posted the wrong picture. That's why I don't like showing these pictures sometimes, because you don't know until it's confirmed. Oh, he posted this picture. I'm not even going to show this picture. We'll wait until I see something more in stone, written in stone.
To get to that location where the arrest happened, it's likely we will get more information, and there could potentially be some photos of that arrest. We're not quite clear what we're going to get from investigators when they do walk up to the podium here in just a matter of moments. We also know that we are awaiting funeral arrangements for Charlie Kirk. A lot of people have messaged us and asked when he will be laid to rest. And at this point, we do not have an answer other than that President Trump says he expects that it could be sometime next weekend. Again, nothing confirmed just yet. We will keep in touch with everyone involved, and we'll let you know as we do get any of those details coming in. It could be a few hours, it could be a few days before we get answers. All right, still awaiting this news conference to begin, 9:14 on the East Coast, 6:14 on the West Coast. We are not going to go to any commercial breaks. We are throwing those out because the second that we see folks start to walk up, we want to make sure that we bring that to you in full, commercial free, and that we have the entire thing here on Live Now as it does start. And as I mentioned, I'm getting quiet at times because I'm taking a look at some of the posts coming in from different lawmakers and other Trump administration officials just to see exactly what they have to say about this.
Yeah, let me see what else they're saying. I'm kind of scanning.
We also mentioned, while we're on the topic of President Trump's interview, we did mention here that he has said that he is going to send the National Guard over to Memphis. That is his next stop to help combat crime. And Representative there, David Kustoff, actually said, I support President Trump's decision to send the National Guard to Memphis. I thank the president for his commitment to curb violent crime. It's important for the long-term success in Memphis to have additional and permanent federal law enforcement officers and agents who can work in conjunction with state and local officials. I will continue to work with the White House to secure these important resources. Someone there
still waiting.
taking notes there in the distance. Not sure if that was a reporter or somebody with the actual law enforcement agency. You can see possibly, I'm looking at the uniform there, and it might be a sheriff's office employee there on the left-hand side. Not sure if we've seen anyone else walk up just yet to enter the room. We are still waiting on Governor Spencer Cox. He's likely to make comments, it appears. Also, the Utah Department of Public Safety. Several other officials, the FBI, not quite clear.
Oh, yeah, they're showing
Kash
pictures.
Patel, the director of the FBI, is he's been involved, and he's announcing here that the arrest happened as well. He might not be here. He might not speak. He was at last night's news conference and was involved in looking for different evidence at the scene. However, we did not hear any specific comments from him last night. However, he could be there, as we might once again hear from the FBI special agent in charge.
This is crazy. Yeah, I'm seeing people post.
And I will keep this image up on your screen right now because we want to make sure the second we see folks walk in that we're able to bring that to you in full, commercial free. Not going to step away for a break at all because this is obviously a very important story. We are just under 48 hours after Charlie Kirk, conservative activist, was attacked and assassinated there as he was speaking in front of hundreds, maybe thousands of people there at Utah Valley University.
Oh, we had 30,000
on videos of the crowds. You know, there were a lot of people around him.
I think the connection is kind of
do believe that he was targeted
sometimes kicks
and
people.
That this was politically motivated. That's according to Governor Cox, who made that statement as he was speaking just the other night. He actually made that comment just hours after the attack happened, after President Trump had announced that Charlie Kirk had died from his injuries. Now, the president also confirming that he is going to posthumously award Charlie Kirk a Presidential Medal of Freedom. Not clear if there will be any sort of award ceremony or anything of that nature, but
thank you guys.
if we do get one, we're going to make sure to bring that to you, as we always do here on Live Now from Fox. And trying to see if that's a reporter or if maybe that is somebody with the investigation team, one of the law enforcement agencies involved.
Thank you, guys. Let me get the, let's see a second here.
Yeah, so everything's still being set up at this point. The start time.
All right, so we're still waiting. Grandpa, thank you again for the super chat. Mindy, thank you for the 20 months. Says thank you for your coverage. Marie, thank you for the super chat. Gina, Tina, Mike, Miss Crystal, thank you for the 28 months. There's video of a debater that looks like the suspect, and in the clip, this guy was very hostile towards Kirk. Yeah, I saw that. We watched it yesterday. I don't know if that's really the shooter or not. Some people think it is. Twin Life, thank you for the 3 months. Thank you for all you do. Your secret admirer, thank you for the 20. Says, let us not forget people knew about this before it happened. A book dropped on Amazon on September 9th about the shooting at the university. The Patriot is still on the books thanks to Biden. I thought the Amazon thing was so weird too, and they tried to say it was like a glitch. A book about the killing came out the day before or something like that. it was dated for the day before, and they were like, "Oh, it was just a mistake, like a date error." That's what Amazon said.
Thousands of people there at that event on the
Thank you for
Utah
subscribing,
Valley
guys.
University campus. And I also mentioned that we're not going to miss any of this because we do have several different angles that are coming in from many different cameras. So if there is any sort of technical issue, audio issue, don't worry. We have backup feeds, and we'll make sure we bring all of that to you in full and live as it does happen. Live, raw, and uninterrupted. That's what we do here on Live Now from Fox. And if you are just joining us, I do want to point this out once again, that we are hearing from Matt Finn over at Fox News that sources tell Fox here that the Charlie Kirk assassin was taken into custody in southern Utah. He says we are on the way, on the ground, and we'll get more information there. Obviously, this news conference, though, should be starting in a matter of moments. Now, Fox 5 DC, they're our affiliate there over in Washington, posting these photos along with an update saying new details. The suspect's father may have played a role in turning him in. That is, of course, according to President Trump.
Thank you so much for what you do for us, Mel. Purple heart emoji. Purple heart emoji.
Hey, Tammy, thank you. So will the father get the reward? Is that even possible? Can the father ever get the reward? I don't think so, right? That'd be kind of crazy. Or is it the pastor, the minister?
So we are on some of these live images. Jackie
Carolina
Heinrich
Girl,
of
thank you for the
Fox
super chat. Carolina Girl, thank you. Oh, yeah. Black Fatigue, thank you so much for the super chat.
Eastern time, walked in, makes it sound as though someone
first time ever seeing your channel. You are the first one to come across my feed with a live press conference. Subbing and showing support. Thank you.
260, 270 miles away from the crime scene there in Orem, Utah at the school. The Associated Press saying breaking. Trump says, quote, with a high degree of certainty that suspect in Charlie Kirk killing has been caught. They are pretty sure this is the person responsible. We know that on the day of the attack, two people were taken into custody, but we did later learn that
Amber Robinson. Oh, are they matching up shoes? So they're saying, let me show you guys this. They're saying allegedly this is the suspect. I see this flying all over the place on social media. They're saying the mother, oh yeah, Cedar City, Utah. Mama's love. Matt and I, this was 2021, Matt and I went up to Logan with Tyler to help him move in. Driving away without him was one of the most difficult things I've had to do in a long time. He's so excited to start this journey, and it's going to be amazing for him.
Charlie's best friend added $25,000 to the reward.
Oh, nice. Look at that. They're matching. Let me zoom it out a little bit. They're matching the shoes, the Converse. Remember, they said the shooter had Converse shoes on. He wore his same shoes. Looks like a match.
These situations is as we get closer to a news conference starting, some of the information comes in from various sources like the Associated Press, Reuters, Fox News. All of them start to get information from the folks that they know of in that location. And that's what appears to have happened, as the Associated Press is saying that a suspect is in custody, and that person is a 22-year-old from Utah. The Associated Press just putting that out moments ago. And as I mentioned, I'm getting quiet for periods of time here because myself, my producers, other DJs here are looking up all the information as it's coming in real time. We're making sure you get it the second that we get it. That's what we always do on Live Now from Fox.
So I'm hoping they start by 9:30. They've done multiple sound checks. Somebody was calling for, Dom was saying, urging for public execution. He said, I'm strongly urging the U.S. government to consider giving Charlie Kirk's assassin the first public execution in 88 years. That'd be pretty wild. They're saying Tyler Robinson, the alleged murderer of Charlie Kirk, is an exceptionally bright student. Math, STEM, scores, 99% ranking, 96%, 99 science, 96 science. 99 math, 96 science, STEM, 98. God almighty. Well, the internet's going to dig. Let's see what else they're finding about the alleged shooter. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That picture's everywhere now. Yeah, it looks like he wore his Converse. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the Associated Press posting here, breaking: suspect in custody in connection with Charlie Kirk shooting is a 22-year-old from Utah. That's according to the Associated Press. They just posted that a short time ago. And taking you back to this live look that we have over the podium, we're just about half an hour after the news conference was slated to begin. It's important, though, to note at this point that we are essentially up in the air about timing, because this was called at the last minute after President Trump had made that announcement about an arrest being made. This news conference was kind of thrown together, so it's not really a surprise that it's starting a little bit later than the slotted time.
Okay, we got a new thumbnail. How you guys doing,
man? My
man?
Producers there, as well as other DJs working in the background. They are gathering all of the information as it's coming in. So we definitely appreciate that.
Gold pill, thank you.
One of our shots looks like... All right, so we have this look at the podium. It's a bit of a wider shot, but we also have this one where it looks like that reporter has been providing those live updates to her crew back at whatever station she is with there, likely over in Salt Lake City, Utah. Basically, folks, not just in that area, but from across the country, have been covering this from the get-go as everything played out. She's not sure if she's sitting down because she saw someone. She just looked over there. I wish we could get a shot of the door, because then we'd be able to tell you when somebody's walking up. But as of right now, we do not have that image. We just kind of have the podium from different angles, like this one right here. And
will be about some of the detail reported that hasn't been confirmed by the authorities.
And that one right there.
Tyler Robinson.
And if you are just joining us again, the Associated Press releasing some more information here, saying that the suspect in custody in connection with the assassination of Charlie Kirk is a 22-year-old from Utah, identifying that suspect as Tyler Robinson. We don't know anything really else about this person, but it's likely authorities will go into further detail here as the information does kind of progress and it's made public. Not sure what we can expect during this news conference. Last night, they did not take questions. We heard from Governor Cox there, and then the Utah Department of Public Safety made some statements, but at this point, not quite clear if that's what we're getting here or if they will actually take questions. You can't really see it, but there are a lot of different media members that are waiting for this to get underway.
Okay. Congratulations. You have been selected to receive the Resident Presidential Scholarship from Utah State University.
Is this him? Nick the Hat posted this.
Okay. Congratulations. You have been selected to receive the Resident Presidential Scholarship from Utah State University. The value of this scholarship is approximately $32,000. This scholarship is available for 4 years or 8 semesters. Okay. Congratulations. You have been selected to receive the Resident Presidential Scholarship from
Big news, big news. Caught. Caught. Let me see if any of these websites have some updates. I guess that's the mother. Live updates. Family turned him in, sources say. The White House is defending FBI Director Kash Patel's handling of the investigation into the Charlie Kirk shooting. Patel posted on social media.
All right, as we continue to take a look
that a suspect had been taken into custody. Then less than 2 hours later, he said the person was released. In a statement to the White House, officials said, Director Patel is working night and day on this case. Anyone who doubts his resolve and dedication, especially when Charlie was such a close friend to him, simply is using this extremely sad moment in a disgusting act of political gamesmanship. Oh my God. The focus is justice, and this killer will face the full wrath of the justice system. Yeah, he was getting some criticism, I guess. Some people were. Oh, there was this crazy video
here on Live Now from Fox, but we are still waiting on that news conference after learning from President Donald Trump that a suspect is in custody. Right now, I do want to bring in Skylar Baird. He witnessed.
They're saying there was like some huge brawl that broke out. I wonder if this was during one of the vigils. Let's see.
Start by walking me through.
Yeah, thank you for having me on.
Maybe we'll do this guy first.
And most traumatic day of my life.
Can you start by walking me through what you witnessed there, what you saw, what you heard? Just walk me through it.
Yeah, I'll start by the positive, which was Charlie coming up and being really happy to be with the crowd, riling everyone up. Everyone was chanting and excited for him to be there. He was tossing out hats and it was clear that he was proud of this movement that he had started and proud to be in Utah. Then the event went on. First question went through, and as the second question came up, the question was on transgender mass shooters. And the question asked Charlie was, how many transgender mass shooters have there been in the last 10 years? And Charlie's response was, too many. That's what he said. He said, too many. And the person that asked the question said, yeah, that's true. I'll give you that. It's been five transgender mass shootings. And then the follow-up question was, how many mass shooters have there been in the last 10 years? And then as Charlie went to respond, to say, are you including gang violence? As soon as the word violence came out of his mouth, that's when the shot rang out. And immediately I knew it was a gunshot. I knew the sound of it. And, an image that I went to therapy yesterday to try to get out of my mind. And the first thing I saw when I woke up, therapy is important. Anyone that was at that event should go see a therapist. Had I not gone yesterday, that image would continually replay in my mind. And I was given some tools to combat that. As I had a little bit of a vision as I was, meditating on this subject. And in this vision, I photoshopped in my mind. I photoshopped the blood away. I photoshopped Charlie, sat him back up, put his smile back on, and rewound the tape in my mind. I rewound the bullet going back up into the rifle. I was being transported up into this where the rifle was, and I stuck a flower inside the rifle. I rewound the tape more in my mind's eye, and the shooter, he goes down the stairs. I'm rewinding him. I'm pushing him back in time. And as I press play, the shooter goes up halfway. He stops on a landing and turns around. He doesn't go through with it. He goes back to his car and ends his own life. And a few people mourn the shooter, his parents, his sister, a few close friends. But nobody really cares and nobody understands. And the event goes on like normal. And for me, I think that was the message that God wanted me to hear and to feel, is that there's a lot of people that are hurting, a lot of people that don't feel seen, a lot of people that don't feel heard. And the only thing they have is their ideology or their identity. And so when that's attacked, they feel like it's an attack on them. And what we need to do is to assist those individuals in knowing that love is real, that God is real, and that they can feel love again.
Skylar, at this point, you mentioned that you've had therapy, you've had a little time to process this. What message do you hope that people watching this and hearing your story, a very emotional one there, are going to take away?
The only thing that is important at this moment is if you feel hatred in your heart, if this moment made you happy in any way, then there's a cancer in your soul. You have succumbed to a great evil. If celebrating the loss of a husband and father of 2 little children has made you happy, then you need to see help. You are broken.
Yeah, I agree.
You need to find God and you need to find love in your heart again, because the only way that any of this stops is to find love and to love others around you. And it doesn't mean validating everything that's going on in their mind. That's not what love is. Love is getting help. Love is getting true help that can solve your deep-rooted issues that would cause you to find joy in the death of another.
Skylar, we definitely appreciate you joining us and sharing your story here and your experience. My last question for you here, how do you want to make sure that Charlie Kirk is remembered? I know you were talking about the excitement there and focusing on the positive. So how do you want to make sure that he's remembered?
The thing about evil is it does not understand the human heart. Evil thinks that killing Charlie silenced him. But the thing about the human heart is, in trying to silence Charlie, you just created a million more. A million more people are going to rise up and share the same message of hope and divinity and of God. And they're going to stand up. They're going to stand up in the face of evil. People have been quiet for too long. People allowed, they allowed the cancellations. They allowed the pushback. They allowed people, to be fired because you have conservative ideals. And it's not going to happen anymore. Conservatives are going to stand up in a righteous way and continue to be loud and be vocal and to change the world for a better place.
Skylar, thank you so much for joining us here and sharing your story. We definitely appreciate it. I can tell, of course, it is emotional for you. Is there anything else that you want to make sure to add here before I let you go?
Yeah, the last thing that comes to my mind is the thousands of people that were in attendance, the millions of people that saw the direct footage around the world, around the globe. And again, those images don't go away. And so don't allow them to stay with you. Don't allow them to infiltrate your mind and to be heavy on you. Go see help, talk to people. They're not going to go away by yourself. You need to go to therapy. You need to go be with your loved ones, because nothing's helped me more than receiving hugs from strangers, receiving messages from strangers, receiving, people coming to my door and offering me a priesthood blessing, and knowing that there's so many people around me has helped tremendously. And there's people right now that are alone, that are struggling with those thoughts and those images, and you need to reach out and find those people around you too.
Skylar, our thoughts or prayers are with you as well. I know, obviously, I can't even begin to imagine what you've been through. But thank you so much for taking the time to share your perspective here and share your story with so many people and talking about Charlie Kirk. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Josh.
And I do want to take you out once again to this live look over the podium as we are waiting for this press conference to start. Now, it is going to be with the FBI, Utah Department of Public Safety. It's not quite clear yet if we should expect Governor Spencer Cox there to be there. He has been at these news conferences. He took charge just yesterday. He's been very involved in all of this, and it's not quite clear if he's going to speak here as well. Now, we have not received any guidance on the timing. We know that we were told from officials that the news conference was set to start at 9 a.m. Eastern time, but they are still working to piece all of this together after the arrest of this suspect. President Trump first making that announcement as he was speaking on Fox News just about maybe 2 hours ago, saying that they did have a suspect in custody and that that suspect was turned in by somebody very close to them. Let's pop this up on your screen right here as we are waiting. Reuters posting as well that the suspect in the Charlie Kirk assassination is Tyler Robinson. That's according again to two sources who spoke there with Reuters, and they are familiar with the investigation. So again, Tyler Robinson is the person who Reuters and AP are reporting as being the suspect in this shooting. Now, at last check, according to Jackie Heinrich over at Fox News, the suspect is believed to be 22 years old. And that lines up with what investigators said yesterday, as they did say that it appeared that this suspect was of college age. So 22 matches with that. Now, the Associated Press saying the suspect in custody in connection with the Charlie Kirk shooting, 22-year-old from Utah. That's also via sources, but at this point, we are likely to get much more information from authorities as they provide this update in just a matter of moments. Again, we're running about 42 minutes late, but obviously all of this is developing, so they're probably working together to piece together everything, figure out who's going to say what.
Bitches, let's all join hands and bow our heads in thoughts and prayers
I know
for
that
Charlie
last night we saw Kash Patel, the head of the FBI. He was there.
Well, this lady was celebrating. They said after this woman posted a video celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk, thousands of people on the internet found her husband's company and flooded the Yelp reviews with 1 star. It got so bad she had to remove the video. Damn. There was a brawl too. Let me see where that video's at. Brawl video.
Hey! Charlie Kirk! Charlie Kirk! Get out of here! Get out of here! Let him go! Charlie Kirk! Get out of here! Get him out of here!
So I guess this guy showed up and was saying F Charlie Kirk and all this stuff at the, I guess at the vigils and gatherings.
He was hitting people. Get him the Stop!
Oh, there's the cops.
Get him out.
Cop is yanking his ass out of there.
Because if we were like you wouldn't be.
Yeah, he's going over there to cause trouble.
Watch your surroundings for that. I don't want to be in the front.
Show some class, man. Come on now.
Hey, man, Jesus loves you.
Come on, everybody. Peaceful. 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 He's black and he's a sellout. He's black and he's a sellout with the Broncos shirt. You a sellout, boy. ACJ. We know you. Hey, put me online, baby. Put me online. You saw what they did on that free speech. I came out here with free speech. Y'all came with this. Hey, 30, 40 mother. Give me the ones, baby. Shoot the ones with me. Anybody. Look at this embarrassment. All y'all. Protecting you that you. Charlie Kirk.
See, hold on. They're gonna give a
single shot from a building about 140 yards away. Kirk is the founder of Turning Point USA, and he was on the first stop.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Check 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
warning. Here's the mic check. Still no conference yet.
Charlie Kirk! Look at this guy. You're a piece of Come with it. Oh, you're protected. You're dead. No, I don't believe in these motherfuckers. Believe that. Believe that. No, I believe that. I didn't ask for no help. I didn't ask for no help. You asked for help. You got
oh, yeah, you think I asked for help? Like you should ask for them, all these motherfuckers.
You wouldn't.
Oh, yeah?
Old man.
Get out of the street. Get out of the street. Get out of the street.
I'll take a one in the street, dog. You are. You're a sellout. You are a sellout. You ain't Mexican. You ain't Mexican. You pass for white. You go in the store, they treat you good. You know why? You like talking to people like that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, shit, wow.
Handle his ass now.
She pushing you? Oh, somebody came and did it.
You fucking piece of shit.
Oh, they're arresting his ass. And look at this chick. This chick over here with the purple hair. I guess this is his group that came with him. You got this chick in the purple hair and the lady in the yellow.
You will back up. Back the up for me, you motherfucker. I will not.
Oh, I think that's a guy actually in purple hair.
Oh,
shit.
Back the up for me, you motherfucker. I will not back up for you. I'm not fucking afraid of you. You don't need to be afraid of me. I didn't see you. Go away from me. You motherfuckers! I'm not backing. Why did wait first?
Jeez. Oh, let me not mess with story, folks. These people. Wow. All right, let me see what we're seeing here. We're still waiting. Press conference.
And we are told that this should be happening soon because it was slated to start at about 9 a.m. Eastern time. However, at this point, it has not started, and we are at 9:49 on the East Coast and 6:49 on the West Coast. But we know that all the reporters are inside. They have their notebooks and computers ready to go. They're essentially taking notes, just waiting for this to get underway. And at first, there was a little bit of an audio issue, but it looks like they were able to fix it pretty quickly. That's why you see folks walking.
Charlie Kirk's killer, 22-year-old Tyler Robinson, wore Trump costume for Halloween 2017.
to see if they do have an update from anyone in the room. But as of right now, that is not the case. The Charlie Kirk shooting suspect here arrested, according to President Trump, who made the announcement less than 2 hours ago, and the Associated Press and Reuters referring to that person as 22-year-old Tyler Robinson, saying that he is from Utah. No other details have been released just yet. But we do know also that the arrest took place over in southern Utah, according to Matt Finn at Fox News. It was about 270 miles away from Orem, Utah, where the school is located, where all of this unfolded there at Utah Valley University. And the reason I'm keeping this up is because we know at some point they are going to walk up, and we want to make sure that we have that for you in full as it does start. This all coming a day after we saw those surveillance photos that were released. You heard President Trump talking about it. He mentioned that one of the videos, it looked like an ant, so you couldn't make much out of it because it was from so far away. But the reason for releasing that video, according to the FBI, was to make sure that folks could see how it played out. You saw a person climb the building. They were there on the rooftop where, according to investigators, they fired that single shot targeting Charlie Kirk and shot him after he had just answered a question. So he was speaking with members of the crowd. They were invited over there to stump him. It's part of something that he does. He answered a question. There was the gunshot. He was struck in the neck. He was rushed over to a hospital. And then a short time later, we did hear from President Trump announcing on Truth Social that that Charlie Kirk had passed away. He is a close friend of President Trump. The president also announcing as he was speaking during a 9/11 ceremony yesterday, marking 24 years since the 9/11 attacks. He was at the Pentagon, and he announced that he will posthumously award Charlie Kirk the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Not sure if there will be a ceremony there, but if there is, we're going to make sure to bring that to you in full as we get it. And, of course, more information about all of that. Now, Bill Hemmer over at Fox News saying that President Trump says, quote, a minister turned him in with, quote, the help of a father. That is kind of the limited information that we do have at this point. But you can see we're still awaiting this news conference to get underway. We do have several experts that are lined up to speak with us in the next little bit if the news conference does not start. Again, this was set for 9 a.m. Eastern time. We were approaching the top of the hour here at 10 a.m. Eastern time as we await the FBI, Utah Department of Public Safety, likely making their final preparations before they walk out here. One question that I've mentioned is it's not clear if they're going to take questions. Let's lift up the audio.
Hello, testing. Hi, everyone. We are 4 minutes out from starting the press conference. Thank you.
Hey.
All right, so there you go. We do have 4 minutes left until this press conference gets underway. Again, not quite clear who's going to talk, but it appears there will be folks with the Utah Department of Public Safety, the FBI, as well as possibly Governor Spencer Cox, who has spoken at the previous news conferences. He has taken charge and taken a big part in the investigation. Kash Patel, the director of the FBI, was there last night. He attended the news conference. However, he did not speak there. It's not clear if now that an arrest has been made, he might do that. But if you are just joining us here on Live Now from Fox, I do want to remind you that according to the Associated Press, Reuters, and Fox News, the suspect has been identified as 22-year-old Tyler Robinson from Utah. Not clear where in Utah he is from. But again, this is the limited information that we have from law enforcement sources, and it's all the information that we expect we could get today, along with maybe how they were able to track him down, though it does appear that a minister was involved. That is according to President Trump. He said, quote, someone very close to that suspect helped nab him, essentially. We also don't know where this suspect is right now. We may get an update on that, their location, where they're going to be held, the charges they face, all of that. But these are all questions that we've had now for quite a while. I would say less than 48 hours ago, this all played out. There were 2 detainments that were made the day of the attack, but after some questioning, investigators determined that those were not the shooters. They were not involved in the shooting. There was also an arrest that took place at the crime scene just yesterday, but that was not technically related. It was essentially a person who crossed the crime scene tape when they knew they were not supposed to. As you can see, the camera is kind of wobbling around. This is likely to get underway shortly because we were told 4 minutes, and that was maybe just about 2 minutes ago. I believe that person is a spokesperson for one of the agencies involved who gave us that heads up there, saying that this would begin here shortly in about 4 minutes. And right now we're about 2, maybe 3 minutes into that. If you are just joining us here on Live Now from Fox, the time is 9:55 on the East Coast and 6:55 on the West Coast. My name is Josh Breslow, and I've been here for the past several hours to bring you all of your top stories, live events, and breaking news. And there has been a lot of it over the last couple hours here as we learn from President Trump that an arrest has been made, a suspect taken into custody in connection with the assassination of conservative activist there, Charlie Kirk, very well known as he was speaking at an event with about 3,000 people in attendance. Right now, we are keeping an eye on the podium as we have been. We're told this should begin momentarily as we hear from all of the agencies involved. Again, it's not clear if they are going to take questions from media members or if, like last night, they just are going to make a couple statements and then leave. Many of these news conferences have only been about 10 minutes in length, but this one, now that an arrest has been made, there are a lot of questions, and they may be able to answer more of those. We also have this post coming in right here from David Spunt over at Fox News. It's also from Jackie Heinrich, another reporter there, who says that David Spunt confirmed the suspect name is Tyler Robinson, 22 years old and from Utah, according to the Associated Press and Reuters. At this point, nothing else really known about this suspect just yet. That is all the information we have. The Associated Press once again saying the suspect in custody in connection with the Charlie Kirk shooting is a 22-year-old from Utah. Likely we're going to get all of these details here in just a matter of moments, so we're keeping an eye on the podium, and the second we see somebody walk up, we will take that and bring it to you in full. If you've been watching over the last hour or so, you know that we have tossed out all of our commercial breaks. We are not going to interrupt this at all. We're going to stick with it all throughout the press conference, whether it's 5 minutes or 55 minutes. We're going to be with it the entire time. You won't miss any of it here. We also have several different feeds. As you know, sometimes the feeds can go out. There can be audio issues, but don't worry because we have so many different angles and so many different feeds. So if one does happen to go out, we have several others that we can bring you as well. We are now at 9:58 on the East Coast, and that is about the 4-minute mark of when this news conference should start. Looks like maybe they're waiting till about 10 o'clock, but if you are just joining us here, I do want to make sure you have the latest. As President Trump says, an arrest has been made in connection with the murder, the assassination of his friend, conservative activist Charlie Kirk, who died Wednesday there as he was speaking at an event at Utah Valley University. Fox News posting Charlie Kirk assassination suspect named as Tyler Robinson. David Spunt over at Fox News speaking with a lot of the folks there to help break all of that down and learn a little bit more information. Looks like the cameras that we have, several of them are actually zooming out. So what I'm going to do is maybe lift up the audio here as we expect this to get underway. And as I mentioned, I don't want you to miss any of it as we hear from the FBI, the Utah.
So it is being reported that the killer then confessed to his father, who is a 27-year veteran of the Washington County Sheriff's Department. Wow.
In Utah. And it also looks like the White House is putting out some information here as well. They did put out a quote from President Trump. As he mentioned earlier, Quote, "We lost an unbelievable warrior." That is what he had to say about Charlie Kirk. He has also announced that he is going to posthumously award him the Presidential Medal of Freedom. That will be awarded to him in the future. We do not have any information just yet on whether or not that could be a full ceremony. It could be. We could see his family arrive there, all of that, and speak and honor his memory. If that is the case, you'll be sure to watch it here on Live Now from Fox as we bring it to you full and commercial free.
All right. I guess while we wait, this said it should
We
be
have
starting.
sent out over 300 emails to employers, and we have gotten now 15 confirmed fires. So without any further ado, let's get into it. Gabrielle from Illinois, you're fired. Lincoln from Utah, you're fired. Amanda, another Amanda, from Wyoming, you've been terminated. Suck it. Shasta from Washington State, your ass is fired. And Curtis, again from Texas. What the hell, Texans? What the fuck? Curtis from Texas, you've also been terminated. You're welcome. Now, truth being told, I've probably lost about 50,000 followers throughout all social medias while I'm doing this, but I would rather have every single one of my accounts hit 0 before I give in to these people. So if you want to try and affect me or affect my income by unfollowing me, I don't care. I would much rather go back to a 9-to-5 job than let this kind of shit slide. And I know for a fact that over half of this country agrees with what I'm doing. So hopefully they start finding me pretty soon. So go ahead and do your whole mass unfollowing and everything like that, because again, I would rather see all my accounts hit 0 than letting you guys try and bully me into not doing this anymore. And if you agree with what I'm doing, please hit that follow button. Count.
Yeah. Go for everybody.
And I now understand how people cry over deaths that they didn't know the person, because my heart literally hurts for Charlie Kirk. It does. It hurts because they really killed this man over disagreements. Literally. They literally killed this man because he was calling shit out. Because he was exposing shit. Shit that are, well, he's not even exposing anything. He was just telling the truth, speaking facts, speaking common sense, speaking common decency. Well, it should be common. But nowadays, you know, like the things that are common now, the like things that are common decency, common sense, you know, but.
All right. Piers Morgan. He posted and said, "I'm so shocked by the huge quantity of social media posts and clips of woke left fanatics gleefully celebrating Charlie Kirk's murder. It's so brazen, so dehumanized, so disgusting. What the F is wrong with these people? Elon Musk is right. Wokeism is an insidious virus."
I've been dreading making this video because I know I'm going to get hate comments, especially from the left. And
Here we go. That's Kash Patel.
At today's press conference, we will hear from Governor Cox, FBI Director Kash Patel, and Sheriff Mike Smith. We also have with us Utah DPS Commissioner Bo Mason, Lieutenant Governor Special Agent in Charge Robert Bowles, and local and federal law enforcement partners. Following the remarks today, Governor Cox, Director Patel, and Commissioner Mason will take questions. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We got him.
On the evening of September 11th, a family member of Tyler Robinson reached out to a family friend who contacted the Washington County Sheriff's Office with information that Robinson had confessed to them or implied that he had committed the incident. This information was relayed to the Utah County Sheriff's Office and scene investigators at Utah Valley University. This information was also conveyed to the FBI. Investigators reviewed additional video footage from UVU surveillance and identified Robinson arriving on UVU campus in a gray Dodge Challenger at approximately 8:29 a.m. on September 10th, in which he is observed on video in a plain maroon t-shirt, light-colored shorts, a black hat with a white logo, and light-colored shoes. When encountered in person by investigators in Washington County on September 12th, in the early morning hours, Robinson was observed in consistent clothing with those surveillance images. Investigators interviewed a family member of Robinson who stated that Robinson had become more political in recent years. The family member referenced a recent incident in which Robinson came to dinner prior to September 10th, and in the conversation with another family member, Robinson mentioned Charlie Kirk was coming to UVU. They talked about why they didn't like him and the viewpoints that he had. The family member also stated Kirk was full of hate and spreading hate. The family member also confirmed Robinson had a gray Dodge Challenger. Investigators identified an individual as the roommate of Robinson. Investigators interviewed that roommate, who stated that his roommate, referring to Robinson, made a joke on Discord. Investigators asked if he would show them the messages on Discord. He opened it and showed several messages to investigators and allowed investigators to take photos of the screen as each message was shown by Robinson's roommate. These photos consisted of various messages, including content of messages between the phone contact named Tyler with an emoji icon and Robinson's roommate's device. The content of these messages included messages affiliated with the contact Tyler, stating a need to retrieve a rifle from a drop point, leaving the rifle in a bush, messages related to visually watching the area where a rifle was left, and a message referring to having left the rifle wrapped in a towel. The messages also refer to engraving bullets and a mention of a scope and the rifle being unique. Messages from the contact Tyler also mentioned that he had changed outfits. I know there has been speculation as well as to the writing on those casings, those bullet casings, and I believe we have that as well. And I will share that with you now. So the area north of Campus Drive Road where the suspect crossed over, you saw some of that in the video that we released last night, consists of a grassy area with trees on the edge of the UVU campus. Investigators discovered a bolt-action rifle wrapped in a dark-colored towel. The rifle was determined to be a Mauser Model 98 30-06 caliber bolt-action rifle. The rifle had a scope mounted on top of it. Investigators noted inscriptions that had been engraved on casings found with the rifle. Inscriptions on a fired casing read, "Notices, bulges, capital OWO, what's this, question mark." Inscriptions on the 3 unfired casings read, "Hey fascist, exclamation point, catch, exclamation point." Up arrow symbol, right arrow and symbol, and 3 down arrow symbols. A second unfired casing read, "Oh Bella Chow, Bella Chow, Bella Chow, Chow Chow." And a third unfired casing read, "If you read this, you are gay, LMAO." We are indebted to law enforcement across the state who has worked seamlessly together, local law enforcement, state law enforcement, and our federal partners with the Federal Bureau of Investigation. We're grateful for everyone who worked together in such a short amount of time to find this person and to bring justice. I want to thank the public who has been so engaged, reviewing videos, helping us with sending in tips, and helping us get to this point. I want to thank the family members of Tyler Robinson who did the right thing in this case and were able to bring him into to law enforcement as well. I especially want to thank the family of Charlie Kirk, Erica, Charlie's parents, his children. I want us to be thinking of them as we bring justice in this case. They will be involved in that justice. We will be working very closely with them as we move through this process as well. This is a very sad day for our country, a terrible day for the state of Utah, but I'm grateful that at this moment we have an opportunity to bring closure to this very dark chapter in our nation's history. With that, I will now turn the microphone over to the Director of the FBI, Kash Patel.
Thank you, Governor. This is what happens when you let good cops be cops. The FBI and our partners are proud to stand here today together to bring justice to the family of Charlie Kirk and honor his memory. I want to express my deep gratitude to President Trump, the Vice President, and the entire White House who have been so incredibly supportive with both resources and just personally to the FBI as a team. They had our backs the entire way, and I just want to express my gratitude for giving us the resources we need to operate in this space to bring this sort of justice at this sort of speed. In 33 hours, we have made historic progress for Charlie. Governor Cox, our partnership has been absolutely incredible these last few days. Our partnership will endure. Your state and local partners, your sheriffs, your DPS community has been unbelievably impressive in the hardest of times. And a case like this cannot be solved, cannot be brought without partnering with your state and local authorities. The FBI has a certain role to play, and we will play that role, and we will lead out for the federal government. But Governor Cox, we are so grateful for your state partnership that led out on this investigation. A little bit of the timeline. Charlie was shot at 12:23 p.m. on Wednesday. The first FBI agents arrived on scene in 16 minutes with chiefs of police at 12:39 and secured the scene. The FBI immediately launched fixed-wing assets. We utilized these assets to transport personnel, specialty technicians, hostage rescue teams. We also utilized these assets to go back and forth from the East Coast and here in Utah to transport forensic evidence and other evidence that will be analyzed and is being analyzed at our FBI laboratories in Quantico and other laboratories, including the ATF. At my direction, the FBI released the first set of FBI photos of the suspect at 10 a.m. local time on 9/11. Then, shortly thereafter, the FBI reward of $100,000 was released at 10:45 a.m. local. Myself and Deputy Director Bongino arrived on the scene at approximately 5:30 p.m. on 9/11. The governor led a press conference last night at approximately 8 p.m., where at my direction, the FBI released a never-before-seen video of the suspect. We also released new images to the public of the suspect. And just last night, the suspect was taken into custody at 10 p.m. local time. In less than 36 hours, 33 to be precise, thanks to the full weight of the federal government and leading out with the partners here in the state of Utah and Governor Cox, the suspect was apprehended in a historic time period. And I want to highlight what Governor Cox said. This would not have been possible without you, the media, and you, the public. That's why we went so public, so fast, and we're so transparent, and we're committed to that transparency. The crime scene, just a little bit there. It is a large crime scene. State and local authorities, along with federal authorities, processed that crime scene quickly. And I even had the ability to walk through that crime scene and walk through the steps the suspect took to learn more about what was needed and what resources we needed to bear to create a full picture for the FBI and leadership back in Washington. Furthermore, thankfully to state and local partners, forensic evidence has been seized and continues to be garnered. Forensic evidence has already been evaluated at FBI laboratories in Quantico and state and local authorities here. We will continue to process evidence as we see it, as we collect it, and we will continue to deliver to Governor Cox and his team. Last night, we had a total of approximately 7,000 leads. As of this morning, thanks to your great work, we have over 11,000 leads that were called in to the FBI. And we are running out every single lead that we can. Every one of those leads will be run out. The arrest is a testament to the dedication of good law enforcement being great, and partnerships in law enforcement, which I've tried to highlight as my tenure as the director of the FBI. There is no better relationship for law enforcement than the FBI to partner with state and local authorities, and you've seen it here in these last few days. The FBI Salt Lake Field Office, along with our offices in LA, Phoenix, Denver, San Antonio, Las Vegas, Pittsburgh, Buffalo, our headquarters component in Quantico, all participate in the FBI. I want to express my deep gratitude to the employees of the FBI, the men and women, the evidence response team tacticians, the special operators, the agents, the support staff. You have done monumental work in historic time when the public, who had a right to demand such an expeditious solving of an investigation, the FBI answered that call diligently, critically important to our nation, and we delivered. And I'm proud to be their leader, and I'm proud to be the director of the FBI. This is very much an ongoing investigation, as the governor said, and we will continue to work with state and local authorities to develop the investigation, to provide them the evidence they need for their ongoing prosecutions, and we will be here to answer every call they absolutely have, as long as it takes, for as long as we need to find and apprehend whatever suspects were involved in this crime. Lastly, to my friend Charlie Kirk, rest now, brother. We have the watch, and I'll see you in Valhalla.
Thank you, and good morning. I would just like to take a few minutes as the sheriff to express my gratitude for everybody who has played a part in this investigation. As you know, it's been a vast, a complicated, and a very, very fast-paced investigation. You're looking at people standing up here who are running on, if they got an hour's sleep in the last couple of days, they're probably lucky. It has been very taxing. It has been so impressive, speaking on behalf of the local law enforcement, to see the cooperation that we've seen in this type of case. Across the state, sheriffs, chiefs, our state partners have stepped up and have come to the call on anything that we needed. Our county chiefs have been phenomenal. Our Utah County Attorney, Jeff Gray, who's standing up here with us, has been phenomenal in leading us through this investigation. I would like to thank the federal government for their resources, their assets. Our local team here, our FBI team, has been extraordinary in helping us work through this and bring this person to justice. Most of all, I would like to thank the public, and specifically, I would like to thank the public who turned to prayers and who turned to positiveness for us. I would like to thank them on behalf of the law enforcement community, because we needed those prayers. That's what we needed to get through this. We needed your support, and you gave it to us. We needed your patience, and you gave it to us. And I would like to thank you for the Kirk family, because that's what they need, is your support and your prayers, and that will get us through all of this. So thank you, everybody, for everybody that have stepped up. We've had such a phenomenal response to this. Thank you.
I also want to give a special thanks to the Attorney General and the Department of Justice. Their unwavering support and their commitment to justice is shown true here. And without AG Bondi and Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche and the resources they brought to bear, we would not have been able to complete our mission. And I just want to say special thanks. It's an honor to be a part of the Department of Justice.
Valhalla.
Thank you.
I never
again,
heard of that before.
To our incredible law enforcement team who has worked so hard. Sheriff, I got a solid 90 minutes last night, so I'm probably the most well-rested person up here. Ladies and gentlemen, I get the microphone, so I hope you'll permit me a moment just to share a few more thoughts about where we are and how we got here, and maybe a little bit of where we go from here. I don't want to get too preachy, but I think it's important that we, with eyes wide open, understand what's happening in our country today. I've heard people say, well, why are we so invested in this? There's violence happening all across our country, and violence is tragic everywhere. And every life taken is a child of God who deserves our love and respect and dignity. This is certainly about the tragic death, political assassination of Charlie Kirk. But it is also much bigger than an attack on an individual. It is an attack on all of us. It is an attack on the American experiment. It is an attack on our ideals. This cuts to the very foundation of who we are, of who we have been, and who we could be in better times. Political violence is different than any other type of violence for lots of different reasons. One, because in the very act that Charlie championed of expression, that freedom of expression that is enshrined in our founding documents, in having his life taken in that very act, makes it more difficult for people to feel like they can share their ideas, that they can speak freely. We will never be able to solve all the other problems, including the violence problems that people are worried about, if we can't have a clash of ideas safely and securely. Especially those ideas with which you disagree. That's why this matters so much. Over the last 48 hours, I have been as angry as I have ever been, as sad as I have ever been. And it was, as anger pushed me to the brink, it was actually Charlie's words that pulled me back. I'd like to share some of those. And specifically right now, if I could, I need to talk to the young people in our state, in my state, and all across the country. As President Trump reminded me, he said, you know who really loved Charlie? The youths. And he's right. Young people loved Charlie, and young people hated Charlie. And Charlie went into those places anyway. And these are the words that have helped me. Charlie said, when people stop talking, that's when you get violence. He said, the weak can never forgive. Forgiveness is the attribute of the strong. The only way out of the labyrinth of suffering is to forgive. Welcome without judgment, love without condition, forgive without limit. He said, always forgive your enemies. Nothing annoys them so much. A few months ago, I referenced this last night, Charlie posted to social media, when things are moving very fast and people are losing their minds, it's important to stay grounded. Turn off your phone, read scripture,
shot, guys. Look at that.
Spend time with friends.
Damn.
And remember, internet fury is not real life. It's going to be okay. He again said, when you stop having a human connection with someone you disagree with, it becomes a lot easier to commit violence. He said, what we as a culture have to get back to is being able to have a reasonable agreement, where violence is not an option. Now, again, to my young friends out there, you are inheriting a country where politics feels like rage. It feels like rage is the only option. But through those words, we have a reminder that we can choose a different path. Your generation has an opportunity to build a culture that is very different than what we are suffering through right now. not by pretending differences don't matter, but by embracing our differences and having those hard conversations. I think we need more moral clarity right now. I hear all the time that words are violence. Words are not violence. Violence is violence.
Right. People.
And there is one person responsible for what happened here. And that person is now in custody and will be charged soon and will be held accountable. And yet, all of us have an opportunity right now to do something different. I want to thank my fellow Utahns. You know, this bad stuff happens.
College happened.
And for 33 hours, I was praying that if this had to happen here, that it wouldn't be one of us. That somebody drove from another state, somebody came from another country. Sadly, that prayer was not answered the way I had hoped for, just because I thought it would make it easier on us if we could just say, hey, we don't do that here. And indeed, Utah is a special place. We lead the nation in charitable giving. We lead the nation in service every year. But it did happen here. And it was one of us. But I want you to look at how Utahns reacted the last 2 nights. There was no rioting. There was no looting. There were no cars set on fire. There was no violence. There were vigils and prayers and people coming together to share the humanity. And that, ladies and gentlemen, I believe is the answer to this. We can return violence with violence. We can return hate with hate. And that's the problem with political violence, is it metastasizes, because we can always point the finger at the other side. And at some point, we have to find an off-ramp, or it's going to get much, much worse. But see, these are choices that we can make. History will dictate if this is a turning point for our country. But every single one of us gets to choose right now if this is a turning point for us. We get to make decisions. We have our agency. And I desperately call on every American, Republican, Democrat, liberal, progressive, conservative, MAGA, all of us to please, please, please follow what Charlie taught me. I'll just conclude with words I share often from a friend and author, Yuval Levin, who was asked if he was optimistic about our country. And he said, I'm not optimistic. He said, I hate optimism. Like, that sounds bad. But he said, optimism is a vice. It's this idea that good things are just going to happen. And he said, in the history of the world, good things have never just happened. He says, I'm not optimistic, but I am hopeful. And hope is the virtue that sits between the vices of optimism and pessimism. Hope is the idea that good things are going to happen because we can make them so. I still believe in our country. And I know Charlie Kirk believed in our country. I still believe that there is more good among us than evil. And I still believe that we can change the course of history. I'm hopeful because Americans can make it so. Ladies and gentlemen, we're happy to answer any questions you might have.
Governor, can you please speak to whether the suspect is speaking with authorities and his demeanor, Tyler Robinson, when he turned himself in?
I cannot speak to that right now.
Governor, how do you interpret the engravings on casing?
Well, I will leave that up to you to interpret what those engravings mean. I think the clearest one that says "catch fascist," there's not, and by the way, that's like catch like a ball, catch this. That's I think that speaks for itself.
Governor, you indicated that he had been communicating.
Please.
Talked about this
arrested. Beyond that, is there anything in your view that you discovered that may have radicalized or changed him to prompt him to commit such a horrific?
There's nothing more that we can share at this time.
Governor, you indicated that he had been communicating with a friend on Discord about the gun. Do you anticipate any more arrests?
We do not at this time have any information that would lead to any additional arrests.
Do you believe he acted alone?
Yes, but the investigation is ongoing.
Can you detail at all how he came into custody of police and where he is right now, Mr. Robinson?
Yes, so right now, Mr. Robinson has been booked into the Utah County Jail. You heard the president this morning report that he was taken into custody, that his family and a friend helped to deliver him into custody of law enforcement in Washington County. For those of you that don't know where Washington County is, it is the southernmost, southwesternmost part of the state of Utah. It's about a 3.5 to 4 hour drive from here, where we are right now, and that's where he lived and where they turned him in. Please, go here. I can't share any more than what I've already shared. Yeah. So how we obtained the gun? The gun was found here. So I don't have much more details on that. We do know that he drove. We had his car here on campus, and then we had his car going south back to the St. George. It's actually the city of Washington in Washington County.
Is he talking with authorities, and did he discuss a motive?
I'm sorry? We don't have any information that would lead us to believe that. Yes, in fact, it was just released.
Is he talking with authorities, and did he discuss a motive?
I can't answer that right now. Yeah, thank you. Over here.
You spoke very eloquently about trying to reunite this country. Do you feel that this is a watershed in American history?
I absolutely believe that this is a watershed in American history, yes. The question is what kind of watershed? And that chapter remains to be written. Is this the end of a dark chapter in our history, or the beginning of a darker chapter in our history? Look, I mean, if you look at true political assassinations in this country of someone of this stature, this feels a lot like the late 60s. And having one so gruesomely displayed on camera in all of our hands and in all of our pockets, we are not wired as human beings biologically, historically. We have not evolved in a way that we are capable of processing those types of violent imagery. And by the way, we've seen another one with a gruesome stabbing very recently that went viral. This is not good for us. It is not good to consume. Social media is a cancer on our society right now. And I would encourage people to log off, turn off, touch grass, hug a family member, go out and do good in your community. That is happening, and it's happening organically right now. I had a friend in a small city in Utah who said, we're getting together, the Republicans and Democrats in my little town are getting together to have a discussion last night, just to find a way to find their better angels. So yes, this could be, I mean, again, you have to go back to JFK to have seen a video live of something like this happening. I wasn't born until 1975, but I know that things were really dark in the late 60s. Sorry to some of you. I know some of you were there. This is our moment. Do we escalate, or do we find an off-ramp? And again, it's a choice. It's a choice, and every one of us gets to make that choice. Two more questions right here.
Could we clarify that the release of those enhanced images at 8 p.m., the timeline that Director Patel gave us, led to the arrest at 10 p.m.? Is there a direct connection between those two events?
I cannot comment if there is a direct connection or not, but all I can say is that through some process, the family came to know that this had happened.
One more thing, Governor. Could you just clarify the clothing issue you mentioned earlier? Was he changing outfits?
Correct. Yes. So when he's first spotted on campus, he has different clothing on, and then he changes clothing on the roof, and then changed back into that clothing at some point, so that when he was apprehended, when he was arrested, the clothing matched the clothing he had on before the shooting here at UVU. Last question here. Yes.
What was he wearing before?
Yeah, so I don't have any information on the mental illness part. He was not a student here at UVU. He was living and had lived for a long time with his family in Washington County, in the southernmost part of our state. Thank you, everyone, for your great work in getting this information out. I would just say, process-wise, this may be important. I know many of you aren't familiar with the process in Utah. I think it's important that you understand that basically we have 3 days for charging documents to be filed. A CI will be filed. We'll have more information then, more detailed information as those charging documents are filed in preparation for a preliminary hearing. So 3 days. So we would anticipate then that early next week those charging documents will be filed. We will obviously be working. The county attorney will be working very closely with Mr. Kirk's family as those documents and decisions are prepared and made. Thanks, everyone.
Wow. Thank you for the members. Thank you for the super chats. Hey, Rabbit, how you doing?
So you just heard here on Live Now from Fox as officials detail the arrest and the Charlie Kirk assassination. Leading up to this point, very thorough and detailed coverage from my colleague Josh Breslow, leading up to the anticipation that we were all wanting to know who is the person that was taken into custody. As we discussed the very latest, I do want to transition your screen. Take a good look. This is the latest information we have from our content partners as we are learning the suspect in custody on this Friday in connection with the assassination of Charlie Kirk is a 22-year-old from Utah. Law enforcement officials confirming that to the Associated Press. Authorities identifying the suspect as Tyler Robinson. Now, a lot to discuss, and as we continue this thorough and detailed coverage.
I thought it was interesting, too, that they said he was wearing a different outfit at the event, and then I guess he changed. Is that what they said? He changed into what he was wearing to shoot Charlie. And then when they found him, he was wearing what he previously wore at the event. That would be what I guess that's not that guy though. No, that one guy everybody thought was him doesn't look like him. Wow. Rainbow Rabbit, thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate that. And Rainbow said a poll of 68,000 college students across 250 colleges revealed that 1/3 of all students believe violence is justified to stop speech on campuses. We need to do better. Wow. That's crazy, man.
Time. So it was just, it sounds like a great investigation from all partners, state, local, and federal.
We heard from Utah's governor, Spencer Cox, in that press conference saying that a suspect's family member actually turned him in. We're also hearing that he was joined alongside a family friend. Let's discuss that, because as the images were circulating, we had images from TMZ, we had images from the campus. We saw the suspected shooter climbing the side of the roof to get up there. There were so many people who were speculating who this person could be, many people not knowing that it would be a family member who would come out to turn this person in.
Yeah, so, a lot of these cases, just mass shooters in general, school shooters, or in this instance, most of these individuals, they have the term, we hear it all the time, but it's leakage. I don't know, but I'd be safe to say, and they mentioned it briefly in the news conference, where there may have been some leakage in him talking about it and showing this hatred towards Mr. Kirk prior to actually committing the incident. And
I think they said they had dinner the night before, or something with the family, and they were sitting at the table talking about why they hate Charlie Kirk.
Proactive, and maybe this never would have happened.
As you say that you wish it never would have happened, some somber words from Utah's governor towards the end, and I want to quote him. For many people, it stuck out. He says, "Is this the end of a dark chapter or the beginning of a darker chapter in history? With your Secret Service expertise, unfortunately, this isn't the first type of tragedy you have covered, but so many viewers on the edge of their seats wondering, is this the end or the beginning of a darker chapter?" As Utah's governor so eloquently put it.
Yes, he brought up a couple good points, talking about the 60s, which were a little bit before my time as well, but, one of the most violent times as far as assassinations go. And with my experience, we've seen a lot of violent events, towards this country. But like you said, most importantly, we have a choice. We individually have a choice whether or not how we write this next chapter. And hopefully people take to heart exactly what he said and make that choice to turn to.
Okay, so pretty big developments. I wanted to play what we got. That's good. Some clips. I don't know if I want to play this. Actually, I don't know what I want to play. Oh, this was an interesting clip.
You're part of the problem, I think, with the hatred on trans people. It's really not that deep. Like, if someone wants to dress up however they want, that's totally fine.
Okay, so
and I think that's where the hatred
I'm not
comes from.
preventing you from dressing up.
Yeah.
However, let me ask you a question. I will flush this out.
Ahead.
So let's pretend you say you are a woman.
Let's pretend.
I know you are a man, but I refuse to call you a woman.
Okay.
Who's the hateful one?
I would say you are. I mean, I wouldn't.
So you're going to force
it.
me and shame me? No, hold on a second.
Anything, man.
I'm the hateful one.
It's really just like common courtesy.
It is never common courtesy to lie. Okay. You do not become a thing just because you say it. You are the thing. And guess what? Nobody in the history of the species that was born XX or born XY and transitioned is able to change their chromosomes. Every one of your cells is coded either XX or XY. And it is an insult to women everywhere in this audience and across the country that's saying that you could just wear makeup and dress like a woman, undergo surgery, that you magically become a woman. And it is the abolition of women, and is the abolition of reality, and we see great unjust human suffering because of it.
Thought that was kind of a little interesting debate there. We saw this guy already.
For those of you that are not yet believers, it's very simple. You're gonna have a court date, we all die, and you're all gonna meet the supreme judge of the universe. Justice is getting what you deserve, which is going to a not so good place. We're all sinners and we all fall short of the glory of God. But thanks to the cross, a perfect, loving God who came down in human form, human flesh, lived a perfect life and died for us so that we could live forever. At that moment, we're about to get that sentencing into eternal damnation. Somebody says, no, I know him. I know her. Welcome to eternal life. You have an opportunity. The gospel in 4 words is Jesus took my place. 3 words is him for me. 2 words is substitutionary atonement. And 1 word is grace. Grace, you cannot earn. Grace, you do not pay for. It doesn't matter how much money you give to the hospital. You can't earn it. It doesn't matter if you're a good person. It doesn't matter if you have always done the best you can, because what's different about Christianity is that it's a gift for all of humanity to receive regardless of everything that we have done. And your life will be transformed. You will be born again. Grace is not earned. It is given by a God who loves you and wants to spend eternity with you. It is the most important decision you can make in your life.
Let me show you this post too. They're saying Charlie had a target on his back because of people like this guy who clearly radicalized into oblivion by his university, Reddit, mainstream media, and Democrat politicians who spent the last decade demonizing.
Tell you I hate you. Would you like to have a substantive conversation, or
a substantive? No, man. I just think you're an asshole.
Would you like to have a conversation?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't like you. I think you spread hate. I think you spread bigotry. I think you piss a lot of people off because you're just an awful person. I don't think you really want to debate because you're just here to piss people off and energize your crowd of racists.
What have I ever said that's racist?
Oh,
can you name one thing?
I'm Hispanic.
Can I support Charlie?
Can you name
Does that mean anything? I think you're just trying to play a game, and I think this is obviously going to be used.
What have I ever said that's hateful?
I just want to hate you. You're awful. Get off my campus.
When have I ever said anything that's hateful? Have a nice day.
These people don't even know. They just regurgitate shit. They don't know.
He can't say anything I've ever said that's racist, because I've never said anything that's racist. That is the American left in one picture, everybody.
You, I hate you.
Would you like to have a
gay conservative, and I'm a gay conservative, and I just want to ask you, what do you have to say for people like me who kind of feel like, I guess, it's kind of hard for gay conservatives because there's not a lot of us. So, like, what do you have to say to other gay people who need to realize, like, they do have a choice?
Yeah, first of all, welcome to the conservative movement. I don't think you should introduce yourself just based on your sexual attractions.
No, I agree. I like
because that's not who you are.
I like to be thought of as a person, and
for sure, you are a complete human being, and I'm sure you treat people well, and you're studying something. So I want to get away with this idea that you're gay anything. I just think that we have gone a long way in the negative direction in this country, where we act as if the most important part of your identity is what you do in the bedroom. It doesn't mean that much to me, but if you ask from a perspective as a Christian, I don't agree with that lifestyle, but politics is about addition and multiplication. I imagine you agree with a lot of what we talk about.
Absolutely.
Right? Strong borders, strong country, and for that, we welcome you into the conservative movement.
Thank you. I'm a...
Man. Dave Portnoy.
Amplifies. I do think social media plays a gigantic part in it amplifies everything, and every Yahoo has a voice. And when things like yesterday happen, you see it all. I mean, how about the MSNBC?
Crazy.
And that guy got fired.
Crazy.
But
Imagine
to
saying
publicly say maybe he got shot by one of his own fans who like was in the old West, like shooting his gun in the air, like celebrating, and then to be like he deserved it because he spews hate, which, by the way, a lot of people agree with what he said, what he says, and he says his things and lets people who disagree with him, like you were saying, come up and debate him. So
yeah,
just
I
insane.
don't. It's crazy. I mean, but my thing is like, and I get what Witt's saying, like he has kids. I feel terrible, and I see people like tweeting out, "Hug your kids," do all. But like, I feel like we do this every fucking time there's a mass shooting or something. It's not going to get it. It's just not going to get any better.
And that's the most terrifying part of it.
It's just gone. Like the toothpaste is out, and it's not. It's just. It's over.
So it's like what? Yeah, what could ever change it? I don't think there's anything, which is the saddest part. And then the other part is like, I don't even know where it was, where the politicians, like, they're screaming and yelling, no moment of silence. It's just like,
oh, in the House yesterday.
That was on the House.
like, I don't even get that. Like, you can't just be like, yeah, let's say a quick prayer. Yeah, it's just fucked.
Well, politics definitely has a huge part in it. Trump, and when I say Trump has a huge part in it, I don't necessarily mean he's to blame for it, but he's so divisive without really even just his face is like divisive. Like people hate him so much, and the left and the right, the rhetoric, especially to me, the left is insane. And it just boils. And this happened when Trump, they threatened when his assassination attempt, there's like a 3-hour period of like, let's tone down the rhetoric.
Right.
Then they're right back to it.
Yeah. That's why I think it's bullshit yesterday when the people on the extreme left are like, oh, I'm so sorry. It's like, well, I don't think you are. Like, I just don't. Like, I don't. So why pretend? Just tell the truth. I think Charlie Kirk would rather have you tell the truth.
That was Dave Portnoy. This was another interesting interaction. So remember, Stephen King was saying that Charlie Kirk wanted gays stoned to death. Now he's apologizing, but he had that post up for quite a while, and I think a lot of these people just see stuff like this and believe it. They don't look into it. They don't like take. All right, let me find out. People see this type of stuff, and then they're probably already radicalized, already have mental issues, on TikTok all day long. In college, I apologize for saying Charlie Kirk advocated for stoning gays. What he actually demonstrated was somehow cherry pick biblical passages. I mean, good that he apologized, but this is the problem here with this stuff.
So I do not have hate for a group. I do not have hate for a people. I have hate
so I can get it on my camera. So Instagram,
don't worry, we
hi.
got plenty of cameras, but yeah.
But yes, so you do not hate the LGBT community,
Well, no,
and Turning Point is not against LGBT.
No, how could I hate that which I have a heart for?
Thank you.
And I might not agree at that for some of the lifestyle choices that some people make. But of course not. And if someone said, Charlie, what's your view on marriage? I say, I believe marriage is between one man and one woman. But if you ask me, what do I have hate in my heart for somebody that doesn't choose the lifestyle that I believe that God laid out in the scriptures? Of course not.
The question is macro Islam compatible with Western values? Macro. Of course it's not. There are three major reasons why. Islam does not believe in freedom of speech. Islam does not believe in freedom of religion. And Islam does not believe in separation of mosque and state. Those three things are antithetical to the West.
So why do you care so much about other individuals living their lives? Why is it affecting you? Do you have something up your ass or something?
Well, I could throw that right back at you. Why do you care so much about what I have to say?
Because you're affecting other people's rights. You're taking away people's choices. You are hurting.
How's he taking away your rights and choices or whatever?
Affecting other people's rights.
That's what a lot of stupid people are brainwashed. They're taking away my rights. Oh, they're taking away my... No, man. Not taking away shit. Every year, a new president or whatever, it's the same shit. Not taking away nothing. Go to work, go to college, or save some money, make a family.
About other individuals living their lives. Why is it affecting you? Do you have something up your ass or something?
Well, I could throw that right back at you. Why do you care so much about what I have to say?
Because you're affecting other people's rights. You're taking away people's choices. You are hurting people.
So again, you say I'm here to take rights away.
Yes.
Do you agree life is a right?
I feel like if it's a clump of cells, then it's not alive.
No.
I love the verbiage they used to. If it's a clump of cells.
Then it's not alive.
No, but let's go back. Do you think every human being has a right to life?
Depending on how many weeks.
Depends on how many weeks. Wow, okay.
Depending on how many weeks, but let's
So wait, hold on. Who's going to take rights away? I want to protect the rights of all human beings. You call them a clump of cells.
I was born as a man, and now I'm a woman.
Okay, no, but you don't become a woman just because you dress like a woman. So let me ask you a question. If I wear a disguise or a costume, do I become that thing? For example, if I dress with a sombrero and start talking with a Mexican accent, do I then become that culture?
No, because that's different race.
Okay,
That's
but then wait, why?
Is there transracial too? Is that really a thing? Like some people, I thought that is, right? Wasn't there somebody that like had some surgery done to their eyes and all that because they felt they were Asian?
How is it different? Because you're saying that if you dress a certain way and you present a certain way, you can be as you think you are. Why can't I also just choose what culture I am?
Because you're born within a culture, you're born with.
But you were born as a man.
Anyway, but at the end of the day, man, these are just debates on college campuses. This is also give me back my son. Supposedly happened at grieving father collapses at memorial for Charlie Kirk outside Turning Point headquarters USA in Phoenix in an emotional scene that has left millions shaken. The father of conservative commentator Charlie Kirk fell to his knees at a temporary memorial erected outside Turning Point USA's national headquarters in Phoenix, Arizona. Clutching a framed photo of his son, he cried out, "Give me back my son. He's only 31. Witnesses say the anguished plea echoed through the gathering crowd, many of whom wept openly, laying flowers, candles, and handwritten notes beneath the makeshift shrine. Video of the heartbreaking moment spread rapidly across social media within moments, drawing an outpouring of grief and solidarity from across the political spectrum. You could feel the pain in his voice. It was the sound of a father's heart breaking. Charlie's father passed away years ago. Oh, is that not true? Oh, his father's deceased. Oh, my bad. This guy made this shit up. What the? Charlie Kirk father deceased. Wow. How many views this thing got? Oh, not that much. I mean, 55,000 views. Damn, people do all kinds of shit, I guess.
But I don't give a fuck. Absolutely zero fucks.
It's crazy, right? Let me see. Let me double check that too.
The fact that you can scroll your FYP right now and see all of these hateful.
Yeah, his father's been dead. Charlie Kirk's father is dead. His name was Robert W. Kirk. He's an architect.
Laughing.
Crazy, dude. People make up all kinds of shit.
Fucking videos about without a human life getting taken in front of thousands of people. That was a father, a husband, a good man. What did he do to you? How can you be so cruel?
Yeah, man. Craziness. The whole TMZ drama yesterday too. Some people still don't believe it. They apologized, but they said that their crew in the back was laughing at a chase, not at Charlie Kirk. Kevin Dalton said, "For what it's worth, I worked at TMZ for a few years. I can say with rare exception, the newsroom was filled with hateful, angry progressives that would, without question, laugh at Charlie Kirk getting shot."
Can see it started. We're showing you right there on the banner below. You can see it started in Temple City, and we saw that. Go ahead, Philip.
Well, I wanted to let you know that President Trump has said Charlie Kirk has died. So that is the breaking news that we are likely.
I don't know, because they said they were watching the chase, but yeah, during the chase, they mentioned Charlie Kirk being shot and killed.
TMZ's cameras. There's nothing I love more than a good investigation, and I'm coming to you guys with the receipts. Exhibit A, the alleged car chase that they were watching.
Right there on the banner below, you can see it started in Temple City, and we saw that. Go ahead, Philip.
Well, I wanted to let you know that President Trump has said Charlie Kirk has died. So that is the breaking news that we are likely about to have with ABC News.
Exhibit B, the giant clocks around their office. Exhibit C, don't worry, you won't have to do the math because I've done it for you. It is 1:07 and 15 seconds in the afternoon, with the timestamp on their video of 3 hours, 42 minutes, and 5 seconds.
For 3 o'clock in Utah time, which is 2 o'clock Pacific.
Exhibit D, we have the cheering starting at exactly 4 hours, 17 minutes, and 15 second mark, which is a difference of 35 minutes and 10 seconds. So if you take the timestamp plus the clock saying it was 1:07 and 15 seconds, add 35 minutes and 15 seconds, what time would you have? 1:43.
So yeah, she's saying they were cheering for that, even though they claimed it wasn't. Lord, man. Oh, yeah, this was a university student. This video went viral, 10 million views. A University of North Texas student is going viral for confronting classmates who were passing around video of Charlie Kirk dying while laughing. And says professor singled her out and asked her to leave the class. Wow. So they're saying the shooter's dad is a cop.
Why are we cheering for someone getting shot? Like, no matter what political beliefs are, we should not be cheering that someone got shot. He has a family. We do. I value everyone's beliefs, but we should not be cheering as a class that someone got shot. He has a family. He has a family. He has a family. Yes, and who shot them? A transgender person.
Oh, so that's what it is.
Yes. It doesn't matter. You should not be cheering that someone got shot. What do you mean?
You just pointed out the fact that they were transgender. What about straight white?
Yes. You should not be cheering that someone got shot.
That went viral.
I'll start off by saying I am a liberal. That's just who I am. That's what I believe. And I spend a lot of time studying conservative and Republican values, and it's just not for me, but I understand where it comes from. My major problem is what I feel is blatant hypocrisy and contradictions, specifically from yourself. For example, a couple weeks ago, Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett called Governor Abbott Governor Hot Wheels. And yeah, I wasn't a fan of that. I didn't agree with that. And obviously you didn't either. You went on X. You said this woman is trash. But I would never take it that far. But on November 24th, 2015, Donald Trump mocked a disabled reporter, Serge Kowalski, He flailed his arms, made fun of his voice, and made fun of his face. And I looked up and down your X account. I couldn't find a single tweet calling him trash for that. You called Elon Musk a genius. I looked at his X account. He uses what's considered the R word over 14 times in just the year 2024 alone. He actually posted it again this morning, talking about the trade advisor guy. And again, you worship that guy. So I want to know why you hold the left and Democrats to different standards than you do the right and Republicans.
Well, first, I worship Jesus Christ. I don't worship Trump or anyone. But yeah, fair enough. I understand what you're saying. There's a lot to unpack there. So, first, what does your shirt say? I'm curious.
Oh, it says rigged election, call it blue steel. Shout out Zoolander.
Oh, okay.
Zoolander?
Was the last election rigged? I'm curious.
This 2024?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, okay. Got it.
No.
So fair enough. So what you're asking, first of all, Trump never mocked a New York Times reporter. It's just been disproven like 10 times. The reporter himself even said that Trump didn't do that. But yeah, I mean, you're trying to find hypocrisy because Jasmine Crockett made fun of the fact that the governor of Texas can't walk. That is trash, by the way. A tree fell on this guy while he was going for a jog, and now he's in a wheelchair, and she makes fun of that. I think that's trashy behavior, right?
Yeah, it is, and I agreed with you. But he did mock the reporter. Anybody could go to TikTok right now. It's on video.
Again, this has been literally.
It was on every major media news outlet. Again, you can look it up.
This is 10 years old. I mean, you were like 8 when this happened, probably, right? Yeah.
I think I was 9. Just answer the question, bro. Come on.
Yeah, he didn't mock the reporter. The reporter himself came out and said that Donald Trump was not mocking me. Okay.
You can see the video.
Again, this is like a decade-old hoax. And by the way, do you got anything more recent that we can talk about than something that Trump said at a rally in 2015?
Yeah, okay,
a decade ago.
Okay. Over the past couple of years, Donald Trump went on his Truth Social, and he would always mock Joe Biden's stutter. Joe Biden had it he had a stutter. Like that was.
Do you think Joe Biden was all mentally there throughout his presidency?
No, I don't. But he's had a stutter his whole life. And are you going to make fun of him because he's not mentally there?
Outside of the stutter, Donald Trump never made fun of the stutter. He made fun of the fact that Joe Biden was not mentally capable to be president of the United States, and we were lied to about it for 4 years. Who signed these executive orders? That's what he was making fun of. And honestly, not even making fun of. It was a sad moment in America when our own president didn't know what door to walk through, where they literally had to have tape on the ground saying, go this way and go this way, where he had to read a teleprompter and he kept on saying, thank you very much, stop speaking. I mean, you saw that debate. I saw that debate. Outside of making fun, it was a tragedy for America that we elected a quasi-brain-dead individual to be president of the United States.
Okay, but that had nothing to do with what my original question was, Charlie.
No one made fun of his stutter. I'm trying to so actually, let me go back to something you said. You said you've studied Republicans and conservatives a lot. Why don't you
the policy?
Why don't you tell me what we believe?
You want to limit spending. You want to limit government spending. Essentially, in theory, run the government like a business. Try to make money and profit off of it.
What else? That's one of many things. Just I want to try to make sure at least we can have clarity about what we believe. Right?
You play into religious traditional values a lot. The modern day Republicans have turned it into man versus woman, abortion is bad, all that stuff. You got a very interesting crowd here, man. That's pretty interesting.
Vivacious. So let me ask you a question. Out of all 50 states, there are some that are Republican, some that are Democrat. You as a liberal, if you had to point to a state that was the ideal, that is the best run state in the country, what state would you point to?
Well, I don't study states. I don't figure out.
No, that's fair. But if you had to say a state that you think is doing things in alignment with your worldview, that is, doing
Los Angeles.
A good job. If you had to pick one or two states, what would they be?
I'm perfectly content here in the state of Illinois. I think it's a nicely run state. I love having a $15 minimum wage. Okay, I appreciate that.
Fair enough. And we'll just disagree. If Illinois was so well run, why does it keep on losing population?
I don't think it is.
No, it's a fact. In the census, Illinois lost well over 1 million people the last decade. In fact, every 9.5 minutes, someone leaves the state of Illinois.
Who is it that's leaving, though?
young people that go to school at ISU.
No, it's
people,
Republicans.
Well,
how can you judge a Democrat state because Republicans don't like it?
Well, actually,
that's just common sense right there.
Well, people of both
if
parties
I lived in Alabama, I would hate living in Alabama, and I would want to leave Alabama.
Well, first of all, the trend of people leaving Illinois started well before. Actually, it started even when when Bruce Rauner was governor of the state. The trend was continuing. 1 million people over a decade. So, as a liberal, I just want to have you. And by the way, it's not just Illinois. I want you to explain to me why so many people are leaving California, so many people are leaving Illinois, leaving New York, leaving New Jersey, and yet people are going to net increase to Arizona, to Texas, to Florida. Why is that?
I don't study that. I don't.
No, that's okay.
That's not what I came here to talk about.
Fair enough. But no, it's something to think about, because as a liberal, maybe people are voting with their feet, because states like Illinois and California and New York are so terribly run with high taxes and bloated pension systems and radical left-wing ideas. Outside of all the back and forth and the gotchas or whatever, getting down to the concrete issue, our worldview is so popular that millions of people are moving to states that share our worldview, where millions of people are leaving the states that share your worldview. Just based on that, we kind of can contest that our worldview is more popular and therefore closer to reality and actually right.
Thank you, Charlie. Well, I wouldn't say your worldview is more popular. Trump didn't win majority of the votes in the popular.
Well, no, he did.
No, he won less than 50%.
Well,
more people voted for somebody else.
He won the plurality of the electoral.
I'm not saying more people voted for Kamala.
He won the popular vote
in total.
Yeah,
he did. Yes, he didn't win majority though.
Right. So just to be clear, winning a majority of the popular vote is incredibly unusual. Usually you win a plurality, not a majority, but he still won the plurality.
Yes,
he won 48%. He also won an electoral vote kind of landslide. Last question here. What do you think that conservatives get right? What do you think that we as conservatives, one thing you agree with from our perspective?
100% the taxes. I understand that completely, but I feel like we're taxing the wrong people. I'm a tax the rich kind of guy. That's just my thing.
What is your definition of what is rich?
More specifically, the top 1%.
Okay. So if the 1% is taxed to such a great extent, why wouldn't they just leave? And then who's going to build our businesses, build our companies, and pay the exorbitant amount of taxes?
Small business owners.
Got it. So, again, I
thought you guys were the small business party.
No, we are, but at some point, just so you know, a large portion of the 1% are the ones that own ones that own the small businesses. You need both capital and labor. That's fine. I'll just say this in closing. I hope you keep on studying, keep on asking questions, and ask people in this audience, why they believe what they believe. And I want you to think more deeply over the next couple days, weeks, and years. If Democrat policies were so successful, if they were so great, people would be going out of their way to go to Democrat states. Instead, they're going out of their way to go to Republican states. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Can I get a hat?
Yeah.
I like souvenirs.
All right. It's definitely a souvenir. You're very polite. Thank you, sir. Yes.
Have a nice day, Charlie.
Thank you.
I'm glad.
That was an interesting conversation. Yeah, it's a really sad story, man. Rob Smith made this post, and this guy is I believe part of TPUSA, ain't he? I don't know. He used to host with him. The evening this photo was taken, Charlie and I were hounded by people in the audience who hurled hatred at me for being gay, and Charlie giving me a platform. The crowd got unruly and rowdy, and afterwards we sat in a holding room waiting for our escort and car out. I was shaken. I hadn't experienced anything like this before. Charlie looked me directly in the eyes and said, "God loves you. You are part of this movement, and we got your back." Charlie and TPUSA, I guess he was he's hosted on there, I thought, or something. Charlie and TPUSA always did, though I was too deeply immature and new to the realities of being a public figure that I didn't realize how much they actually did support and protect me in a myriad of different ways. That is who Charlie Kirk was. I will not allow his humanity to be reduced to sound bites spread by people who never met him and want to use his biblical beliefs as an excuse to paint him as a hateful extremist caricature. Charlie was about growing the movement. He always knew that politics is about addition and not subtraction. I am but one of many public figures supported and created by Charlie. This is why he will never be forgotten. This is why his legend and movement will only grow. It's not that he was just a great man, but that he was also a good one. Few are both, but Charlie was. There will be nothing that I do for the rest of my existence in public life that isn't directly influenced by his belief in me when it mattered. You are with the Father and my brother in Christ. Rest in peace. Now, I remember he caught a lot of heat, I guess, when he had this guy on. Crazy. So that Secret Service person is being looked into. I thought there was another video that I wanted to show. I guess we'll see what else comes out with the suspect too. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me this morning. Let me take a look too and see what else is popping up.
You know, a sports show, a political show, any platform, and you are in any way, shape, excusing, rationalizing, debating, any way, shape what happened to Charlie Kirk, you're sick. Because, and I say this with all due respect to all of us, including myself, I am very aware of how I come off. I know that some people like some things I say. I know some people don't like some things I say. If you're a public person, any way excusing what happened to Charlie Kirk, you're a fucking sick fuck. Because it could have been any one of us, and it can be any one of us. And if you even have a phone in this day and age, and you have the gall and the audacity and the lack of self-awareness, lack of compassion, lack of empathy to think you could get on your phone and sit there and eat a candy bar and TikTok dance and celebrate and make excuses for somebody being murdered in cold blood, shame on you. Shame on you. What happened to that man is not okay. And we all are at risk. All of us, especially public people. But if you have a phone, you are at risk. It's not cool. It's not dope. Death threats in the DMs are not dope. And there's people still right now, 24 hours later, rationalizing, excusing it. He said this and that. Fuck all that. There's nothing about that is acceptable. There's nothing about anything acceptable. Showing up at people's houses, going on stage while people are performing, smacking them. Any of that shit is dope. None of it is dope. None of it is cool. None of it is acceptable. Certainly what happened to Charlie Kirk is not acceptable, cool, or excusable. May his memory be a blessing.
The Valhalla thing. So I've never heard of that. Let me see. Hold on. It's like I was reading a little bit about it. Kash Patel said, "Rest now, my brother. We have the watch. I'll see you in Valhalla." It comes from mythology. It says comes from Norse mythology. It's the great hall of the slain warriors ruled over by Odin. In Viking belief, those who died honorably in battle were taken to Valhalla, where they'd feast, fight, and prepare for the final battle of Ragnarok. The phrase is often used in military, police, and first responder communities as a tribute to the fallen.
By the way, what brings you to California? Your favorite state?
It is my. Ooh, this thing's falling. It is my favorite state in the union. You're doing such a great job here, by the way. No,
he said that was Gavin.
Thank you. And
you were just down at USC.
I was at USC yesterday. Drew a big crowd.
By the way, I knew you were at USC early because my niece, who's graduating,
she was the one with the MAGA hat on.
She was. By the way, I do have to watch, but she was down there and she was like, she said,
"You never know; these kids are going to the right."
I'm aware. She said, "This crowd's crazy." He said and the only reason she would have said it perhaps otherwise, but she knew you were coming on. The worst part though, Charlie, no BS, true story. Literally last night, trying to put my son to bed. He's like, "No, Dad. What time? What time's Charlie gonna be here? What time?" I'm like, "Dude, you're in school tomorrow." He's 13. He's like, no,
shit.
This morning,
that's crazy.
Wakes up at 6 something. He's like, "I'm coming." I'm like, he literally would not leave the house.
Did you let him take off school?
No, he did. Of course not. He's not here for a good reason. But the point is,
you canceled school for like 2 years. Once one day.
Yo, he said you canceled school for like 2 years with this COVID shit. What's one day?
He's not here for a good reason. But the point is,
you canceled school for like 2 years. Once one day. One day.
The point is the point, which is you are making a damn dent.
Thank you.
Wow. Even Gavin gave him his flowers. That's the thing too, man. Sometimes some people are really losing themselves in this stuff. But I wouldn't be surprised. Some of these people probably laugh together, sit together. They were on a podcast, so but these people are not going to kill each other.
What is it then?
It is an embryo.
What species is the baby in the womb?
It's a human, but it's
Therefore,
an
they should have
embryo.
human rights.
Right? Yeah, my body.
I do not agree.
Oh, so small humans, no human rights. Grown humans,
It's
human
not
rights.
a small human. It's an embryo.
It has a heartbeat. It has brain
That does
waves.
not make it a child.
The excuses given for abortion is dehumanization. Oh, it's just an embryo. Guys, that's just using different language to justify the massacre of something smaller than you. Yeah.
If I were to be pregnant right now and forced to have a baby, that would ruin my life. If I just happened to be pregnant.
Oh, well, you don't happen to get pregnant. It's not like getting COVID.
I know how
okay?
it works.
You don't get the flu.
I know.
How about
but
this?
Say
You
I
take
got
responsibility for your orgasms and
What if
stop
that doesn't
eliminating
work?
people
Whoa.
smaller than you.
So you're saying I should carry a baby and ruin my collegiate life?
How about this? Instead of saying ruin, first of all, babies are a blessing. Stop talking at them as if they're some sort of annoyance.
I would have to drop out of college.
Number two,
it'd be an inconvenience for me.
You play certain games, you win certain prizes. If you're going to go have sex.
So you're saying
you
I
might-
should drop out of college to support my child
I'm
instead of supporting my life?
I'm saying if you're going to engage in coitus, in the practice of having children, you might end up with a baby. So know that. And guess what? You don't need to have sex before you get married. It's not like showering. It's not like eating.
Are you married?
Yes, with 2 beautiful children.
Wow, good for you.
I could tell you're
Bro, she's like the test. I got 2 kids. He's married. Well, good for you.
not married.
Mhm, yeah.
What's that? I can tell you're not married.
You're not married.
Mhm, yeah.
Oh shit. Well, I'm glad I had a little laugh at it because the whole thing is just sad, And yeah, I can't even open up social media without seeing this stuff everywhere. Let me see. I guess that's it for now. It is true, like was it the governor? The governor was saying just like, spend some time with the family, put the social media down. It's hard. It's hard, man. But put the social media down, disconnect a little bit. Turn it off, hug your family. All right, guys. I'm going to head out. Thank you so much. It's Friday. It's Felony Fridays. So we'll see what the rest of the day brings. And, yeah. I know, be responsible for your own choices. That's hate speech. All right, guys. I'll catch you later, man. Stay safe. Love you. All right. Thank you so much for today for hanging out. Take care. Peace. Bloop, bloop.